Hello, everybody. We are back. We've got some exciting Dota for you today. It's TDL Pro Series 24, the Americas Summer Season 23. Our round one matchup today is going to be KNGI versus Kingpins. Just had the coin toss fired off. KNGI won the coin toss. They prioritized second pick. So just looking for Kingpins to choose their side. 1 second. Question. Like Kingpin's gonna go with the Radiant side. So verify with the Mantis. Kingpin's seeing if they can have a coach in the, and then we'll get right into the draft. All right. All right, and we are into the draft. So this should be a pretty close matchup. These teams coming into this week are seeded as 13 seed for Kingpins and a 12 seed for KNGI. So I believe this is going to be our closest matchup of round one today. Both of these teams are a bit familiar with TDL. They've been in 3 or 4 of the leagues each so far. Snapfire Ban going to be the first one coming out from Kingpins. Looked very dominant at Riyadh Masters. Was one of the most contested heroes. Not surprised to see that one still contested. What else these teams want to take out of this draft. Undying as well. High priority support ban, especially with the Snapfire banned out. That's one of the preferred answers to the Undying Tombstone. So make sure that if that's what Kingpins had in mind for the first pick, and that's what they were kind of protecting with the Snapfire, that that's not going to be an option for them. Timbersaw gonna be the next one banned out. Another mid or offlane option. We'll get one more ban from KNGI, and then right into the first phase of the draft. To see what heroes we've seen these teams played before. Yeah, Kingpins do like the Undying. Spirit Breaker going to be the last one banned out, and it'll be a first pick techies from Kingpins. Even after eating some nerfs after Poly Major, still looked pretty good at Riyadh, so not surprised to see this support coming out. Just a really crazy initiator with the blast off, and tons of damage coming out from the bombs. Alright, KNGI are going to answer with the Rubik Primal Beast. So potentially your offlane duo here. Let's see. They played this Primal Beast before. Because that's... They have. Who likes to play the Beast? For the side of... Yeah, it looks like they like it in the offlane. So I think this is going to be your... Just from a quick peek. Yeah, Hijack is the Primal Beast specialist. So really good setup for the Primal with the lift from Rubik for him to charge in on. Also going to be very interesting with this Rubik into the techies, and the Rubik sets up an interesting draft for Kingpins, because now they have to kind of be careful about not giving Rubik anything too powerful to play with. They're going to go with the Templar Assassin to finish out the first phase. They'll be able to protect that with their next 3 bans coming up here. He has been another pretty popular hero in the pro scene lately, both mid and carry. I think more often mid. See, they might even be playing around that flexibility in the draft. And KNGI and I might also be doing the same with their Primal Beast. These heroes pretty comfortable as a core in either the mid lane or a side lane. Naga Siren Beastmaster are going to be the first set of bans out. Dota 2 sounds coming through. Sorry for the delay on...
It is Dire's ban.
Terrorblade can be targeted as well, so Kingpin's really focusing on the carry role of KNGI. Going to make sure that there's not a lot of options for that carry role going into the second phase of the draft. And that these are big late game carries. So we know that Kingpins are, you know, trying to set up a game where they can control the late game better than KNGI and A, or they can, you know, secure an earlier win and not let KNGA have a carry that's going to get them through into the late game and be able to just kind of sit back and farm while the rest of the team takes a lot of fights through the mid game.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Ember Spirit going to get banned out by KNGI. So that's going to set up more of potentially favoring the Primal Beast mid matchup, although we expect it to be in the offlane. Is just kind of a pain for a Primal Beast to deal with anyway with the long-term roots. Once he gets BKB, it's less of a problem, but also maybe protecting some other high mobility heroes.
It is Dire's ban.
Darkseer are going to be the last ban for Kingpin. So they're still looking at the option that Primal Beast is in the mid lane. Maybe the Ember Spirit ban kind of tips off that KNGI is thinking about that. So they go for an offlane ban. So it does kind of show that, yeah, they're respecting the flexibility of this Primal Beast. See if KNGI continue to not ban out safe lane heroes. They might be thinking the Templar Assassin is locked in at the safe lane. Or if they will spread their bans in this phase across all 3 core roles. Interesting to see what these teams are kind of setting up for this next phase of the draft. I'm not seeing anything like super obvious that they're trying to ban out. I think the biggest thing for KNGI, yeah, is like these long-term control and then now the speed of the Storm Spirit, and they're gonna go with a Clockwork. probably in the position 5. Again, assuming that this Primal Beast is in the off lane, that's like the Rubik Primal makes more sense as a setup, but Clockwork and Rubik can switch lanes pretty freely. So I think they'll just go with whatever their supports are more comfortable playing, and how the hero pairings work out for what cores they're getting set up with. I like this pickup here too. Always nice to have both of your supports picked when you're in the second picking position and you've got that first pick of the second phase. Because now you're not showing too much into Kingpin's next 2 picks that they have to make. They only get to see 2 supports and a core that's not very easy to counterpick. Kind of holding all of their cards for the end, which are both going to get to be counterpicks in that second pick position, which is what they prioritized off of winning the coin flip. Kingpins eaten into their reserve time a bit. They're not going to have a ton left to finish out this draft.
Radiant's turn.
I believe we're going to see Disruptor pretty quickly. Disruptor, very nice answer to both the Primal Beast and the Clockwork. I really like this pickup because both of these heroes want to be diving in on you, and you can just send them right back with the glimpse.
10 seconds remain.
You are going to see the BKB picked up by Primal Beast pretty early, which gives you a pretty good option for stopping the glimpse. But then into the later game, Disruptor will be able to pick up the Aghanim Scepter, and you know that you have this BKB-reliant hero. So if you can lock them inside of the Static Storm with the Ag Scepter, then he's not going to be able to get the BKB off.
Dire's turn.
Like 2 seconds of reserve
Legion
time
Commander.
this draft. Legion Commander is going to be their second pick of the second phase for Kingpin. So most likely going to be in the off lane. Could see that come up in the mid lane. Really nice single target lockdown. Again, kind of targeting that Primal Beast because that's the core that they're able to see. Make sure you can keep this hero in one place, hold him down, and kill them with the huge amount of damage that's going to be coming out from Templar, Assassin, and Techies alongside the Legion Commander. We'll see what KNGI are going to respond with here. Now they see Legion Commander probably going to be in the off lane, could be in the mid lane. Templar Assassin seems like they expect that to be in the safe lane. There's the Medusa. So Kingpins ban out the Naga Siren and the Terrorblade. KNGI answer with another ultra late game carry, the Medusa, who, like the Techies, ate some nerfs after Bali Major, still looked very competitive at Riyadh Masters. And getting that pick at the tail end of the second phase means they're now going to get 2 picks to be able to protect this Medusa. Kingpin's banning out the Pangolier. That might have been a decent option for themselves as a good diffusal builder. Morphling going to get banned out, making sure Medusa does not have her stats stolen away. And then I expect we'll see the Anti-Mage ban, but I think we've seen Medusa's able to beat even an Anti-Mage who has the built-in mana burn.
10 seconds.
Definitely looking for some kind of diffusal building option because I don't think Templar Assassin or Legion Commander are going to want to build one. They've got decent attack speed, so they could maybe get away with it. Leshrac going to be the next ban. So yeah, KNGI, or Kingpin's thinking that KNGI is putting this Primal Beast in the offlane and targeting their mid lane
10 seconds remain.
Though Pangolier and Leshrac, they definitely prefer the mid lane right now, but they're pretty versatile as well. And it does look like the Clockwork will be paired with the Medusa, like, and that also kind of sets up more that the Primal Beast will be in the off lane, because now you're going to see the melee support with the ranged core in the safe lane, and the ranged support with the melee core in the off lane. One last ban to be had by KNGI. see what else they go with. Check their
Radiant
Medusa.
must
They're gonna go with the
choose.
Puck. So still looking at the Templar Assassin as a potential safe lane hero. They're gonna leave the Anti-Mage in the pool. I think they're fine with that because it would make Kingpin's draft kind of awkward. Templar Assassin is almost a melee hero. You'd be stuck with 3
10
melee
seconds.
cores. And a lot of physical damage. I mean, you've
5
got a
seconds
decent amount
remain.
of magic damage from techies. TA puts out good amount of pure
Dire
damage.
must choose.
Drow
They're gonna
Ranger.
go with the Drow Ranger, so still a physical damage option, but at least something that can sit farther back. They've got a decent front line for this hero with the Legion Commander, and then the TA to sit to kind of jump in at the back line of KNGI at Medusa.
10 seconds.
Potentially going to be able to compete in the late game with the Medusa, and
5
potentially
seconds.
a Diffusal Blade builder. I think that's not something we see as often, but it could work. So I think that should work with the multi-shot as well. So that can be potential big extra damage option to answer the Medusa. I think kind of no matter what you end up building Diffusals against Medusa,
Select your hero.
Queen of Pain
Make
is going to be the
ultimate
final
choice.
pickup for KNGI NA. So that will be their mid laner for life. Means, yeah, a more backline dive option. Honestly, pretty similar drafts. You've got really good initiators at your position 4 or 5. Really good backup supports, backlines with the Rubik and Disruptor. You've got Dive In now with both the Primal Beast and the Queen of Pain. You've got Dive In on the other side, Templar Assassin and Legion Commanders comfortable jumping in, and then the Medusa and Drow are your backlines that they're going to be targeting alongside those supports. I think I'd have to favor KNGI's draft at this point, but it's all going to be about the kind of tempo that this Legion Commander, Techies, and Disruptor can create. And the Templar Assassin, too. How much she can get involved in the early game with Nappy on the Templar Assassin. But yeah, overall, I think the Medusa is going to be hard to answer. We can see if Leonidas can do this on the Drow Ranger. And it's going to be, I mean, the team fights are going to be a huge deciding factor, too. Because it's all going to be about who can get the jumps, who can get the initiations, who can find that backline of the enemy team, who can find that carry that's trying to hide in position, wait to go in until they can just dish out the damage. It's going to be a cool game with these drafts, and we're going to get right into game number 1. Kingpins versus KNGI. For round 1 of TDL America's Pro Series 24, Summer Season 2023. Let's see how things get started. Pause.
Masterful mark.
Tips coming out to start things off. Just burning through those tips early. Disruptor having some internet problems. So once that's sorted out, we'll get right into things. Let's check out some starting item builds. Iron Branch and the Gauntlets of Strength, setting up some of those early stats and expecting a lot of spells to come out in the KNGI safe lane. All of the magic snakes and the clockwork spells. Templar Assassin probably still picking up some lots of stats for Drow Ranger. Ready to go. Disruptor loaded up with 6 tangos, 2 blood grenades, so definitely looking for some early kills. 2 fairy fires on the techies, taking advantage of that extra long attack range that techies has to get that extra harass. Check out things on the KNGI side. Rubik also got the Blood Grenade, 7 Tangos, and the Wand. Little extra armor to take to lane. Because really, no matter where you're laning for KNGI, there's going to be a good amount of physical damage coming out in the air. Iron Branches and Tangos ready to go. Kind of an interesting mid build. Does have the bottle queued up, but full set of Iron Branches to use with these Tangos. Leaning on those more than Fairy Fires. Clockwork also set up with the Blood Grenade. 3 mangoes on this here. 3 of the team's 4 precious starting mangoes, all going to Kobe Beef on this Clockwork. Nada gonna start with a full Magic Wand. And 3 Iron Branches. No Tangos to eat with the Iron Branches, but I'm sure Kobe Beef will be happy to supply. Hijack, full Iron Branches, queuing up the Vambrace to start. Or sorry, not the it's the Vanguard. Interesting how all of the particle effects for the hero levels are a little backed up. Yeah, I'm excited for this series. I'm gonna have 2 series today, and then 1 more tomorrow as we get into the semifinals. So the winner of this match, we're gonna see play against Kali in the next round, and we're gonna go right into that series after this one. Yeah, if you're interested in seeing the full schedule, best place to go is the Discord. You can use the TDL command in chat. I threw it out there at the start. That'll give you a link to the website, and you can find the Discord link from there. That'll have the schedule put out in announcements every week. You can check it out there. I believe there is a link to the full bracket.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
While we wait for Disruptor to get back in. That's the wrong... Oh, that one. Nope, it really wants to show you the Dota buff. Just gonna close that. There we go. There's your bracket. So yeah, KNGI Kingpins is in the play-in for round 2. Bracket doesn't show round 1, but that's where we're at right now. They'll play the winner of Kali. Winner of that match goes on to the quarterfinals later tonight against prospective players, and from there, pretty standard bracket, semifinals and grand finals will be played tomorrow. I'll be streaming one of these semifinals
There will be pain.
as well.
There will be screaming. There will be screaming. It's a trap. The mystery deepens.
Fun!
have to remember when the pause actually started. We could go back and check. Alright. Looks like we're back in and ready to start. And we're gonna have the instant smoke up from KNGI and A. Potentially looking to catch the side of Kingpins off guard after pause to start things out, but it should feel like basically the start of any game with the pause coming in that early. I'm gonna set up around top side, it looks like. Kingpins sticking towards the bottom side of the map. Disruptor is moving. Hopefully we'll be able to make it out here to get things started.
My
Things
thanks.
from Rubik, who seem to be on point with where
Just
KNGI
30
has
seconds
set up.
now.
They're not going to go hunting with the smoke.
We
Looks like
may
they're both
never
just going to
witness
set
another
up
match like this.
on their high grounds around their runes. Hijack on the Primal Beast, starting to poke around. Kingpin's gonna start wrapping up towards top, grab the Triangle Watcher. We might see a bit of a square off. KNGI gonna run, Bo3 running right in, throws out the Blood Grenade. Is falling low immediately and gets glimpsed back. Sadly coming in, and First Blood goes to
First
Nappy.
blood. There's
Off
nothing
to a
more
great start
mysterious until
for
it
this
has
mid
been
lane,
spilled.
picking up that First Blood on Clockwork. Alright, and with that we get into the laning phase, so that early advantage, we'll see how much it plays out for this mid lane. See, Queen of Pain versus Templar Assassin feels like it should be a fairly even matchup. Both have a good amount of harass. See who out regens, who gets that extra last hit advantage. Nappy potentially puts out the pressure with that extra XP, is going to be the first to hit level 2. Here comes damage from the side blades. Life already getting low, has plenty of regen. Check out things over at top side. Kobe thrown out the Rocket Barrage. A good amount of damage on Reason. Really just trying to find some space for the last hits. I'm already a little low on mana, but has plenty of one charges. It's just a massive heal for this Medusa. And plenty in the tank with that mana restoration. Kobe staying aggressive, moving forward. Get pushed back a little bit, able to dodge the sticky bomb. We'll run back in off of that. Or backing away. Falling looks like we're mixing it up a little bit. Hijack. We have to back out as the multi-shot comes through. as the side of Kingpins are going to be the first ones to get level 2 down in the bottom lane. Getting low up top. Both Reason and Curly. The harass coming out from the Mystic Snake and the Clockwork. Curly, though, stepping up with the overwhelming odds.
Denied.
Bringing Nada pretty low on mana for this Medusa. So Beef gonna look to fix the lane a little bit. And Reason get the ward on the blocked large camp. Over in the mid lane, Nappy still has about the same amount of lead. 7 denies though, so looking to extend that lead a bit further, getting to level 4
Dire's top
first.
tower is in danger.
Ahead on the last hits as well as top lane.
Now that's what I call a
Bo3
success.
almost able to bring down Reason, but is going to fall instead. Damage from the techies is going to be too much to handle. The second death on this Clockwork. Maybe playing a little too aggressively. It's kind of what you want to be doing on the hero, just mixing it up. Getting that damage in where you can. Bottom lane's still pretty calm. Sadly, in Leonidas, pushing this lane in a little bit. Roseanne looking for the pull. Not quite going to find it, but these creeps are very far forward already. Sadly, grabbing the pull back the other way should help fix their lane position a little bit to the side of Kingpins. Outplaying Reason continuing to play pretty low health. Bo3 continuing to run in. There's a big overwhelming odds. They're going to follow that up with a sticky bomb. It's going to latch onto Nada. Still full mana, but now going to start taking some actual damage. Out of mana, and you see the ping from Reason saying, go in. Gets the setup stun. Bo3 is going to try to create some space. Going back and forth. The overwhelming odds is massive again. Able to split it up with the cogs, and now gets the kill on the techies. Can they get out, and can they find Curly as well? Oh my god, both on absolutely no health, able to escape, but they at least get the kill on the techies. Kobe Beef being involved in every fight so far that's led to a kill. Reason will come back in, gets the big heal up on Curly, bringing a salve back. They'll get their Legion Commander topped up. Meanwhile, Kobe Beef making the sad walk home. Mid lane, Gappy diving far forward, but Life able to blink away. Gappy still playing under the star. Chase Life back towards the other side of the river, but another blink is ready. Gonna get a rotation from Roseanne now. Try to relieve some of the pressure off of this pain. It's 24 and 12 to 15 and 4. Top lane, there's another kill. Medusa goes down to Curly. Big pickup for the side of Kingpins. Try to slow down Medusa's farm as much as possible. Maybe gonna look for something more on Kobe. Sticky Bomb and overwhelming odds comes out. They've got another Blood Grenade as well. KNGI does get that magic barrier on the Clockwork. Inside the cogs. Get a pause from Templar Assassin. Legion Commander leading the charge, but both in terms of last hits, but both cores up here in the top lane going to be up at the top, 33 and 5, 27 and 3.
A battle seeks resolution.
Has the magic wand to top up that mana. After the Medusa, it's both the cores of Kingpins by a pretty good margin, so they are out ahead in the early game in the laning phase. Okay, rotations towards mid at 6 minutes. Kobe Beef, I mean, all around the map, but Reason to follow up, and Kobe Beef is pretty low, so this Could be another kill for Nappy. Find one more attack through the battery assault. And it brings down Bo3. It's also... missed who got that rune. Does seem like Bo3 at least was able to steal the rune away. Good reason have to take it. Preventing that from getting it. Did go down. Okay. Top lane getting a little quieter now. Reason setting up around
Structures are fortified.
Wisdom Rune with the way Kobe Beef's playing. Now, big rotation from Light down in the bot lane. They get the lift back onto Sadly. This could be 2 kills
Hello,
here.
this is Gabe Newell.
Double kill.
Thanks for playing
for the
Dota
Queen
2.
of Pain.
Double
on a
kill.
massive rotation. Getting out of that mid lane and finding farm on heroes. Exactly what KNGI
Radiant have fortified
looking
their
for.
structures against attack.
Worthy tribute.
Radiant should look to their bottom tower.
Who's going to find both of these bounty runes here in the Radiant jungle as well. That's going to top up the mana and allow them to come back in. Blinking right back, and they're going to potentially find this Drow again. Leonite is falling low. Hydra trying to find the last bit of damage. Reason rotates in to at least get the return kill.
You never could
With
be
Nappy making the rotation as well. And
Dominating, I guess.
uh,
Double kill.
Roseanne, double kill for Nappy in response.
So we could not.
Light having to just
Radiant's
rotate
bottom
away.
tower is
Tower
ruined.
does fall to the creeps as well. So big moves in the Dire off lane. Eventually paying the price is now Nappy going to rotate back in. Towards the screen, Reason going to set up as well. With the sticky mine and sadly making the way over. There's the
Mega
glimpse,
kill.
and that's going to be another kill for Nappy
Radiant should
on the
look to their
clockwork.
middle tower.
Mega kill streak now.
Dire should look to their top
5-0 for this Templar Assassin, off to an absolutely monstrous start. Like, but immediately silenced and glimpsed, going to get absolutely nothing on that attempt. Roseanne is going to come in though. Now though, gets the lift over on Assassin. Multi-shot coming up, not getting a ton of damage in, and they're going to bring Kobe Beef over here off of the respawn as well. Hijack still marching forward, is going to let Sadly walk away. Stacks up in the jungle. Make Nappy to continue stacking that one up. And then we'll begin chipping away at it.
Dire's top tower is under
Draw
attack.
on the map from the Queen of Pain. You know that Nappy's playing in this area. Maybe you don't know just how much
Dire
stats
should look to their
Templar
top
Assassin's
tower.
picking up. Meanwhile, with all of this chaos bot lane, Nada has gotten a lot more free space to farm and is way out ahead in
Killing
baskets
spree.
now. Mid lane, another big initiation from Light.
Did you say?
Finds the techies under the tower. Charlie looking for a duel, but gets pushed back by the cogs. Now getting slowed up with the blood grenade as well. Purges it off. Hijack in on the side. Nappy is going to chase down this primal beast. No onslaught for 6 more seconds and not enough mana for it. They find the duel. Overwhelming odds finishes the kill for Charlie. First duel victory picked up for the Legion Commander. Ends up being, say, a Kingpin's favorite trade for the nice blink in and the stall from Roseanne, but now is going to get absolutely torn apart by
They're
this Templar
unstoppable.
Assassin. Picks up the unstoppable spree. They're going to get the glimpse back on Roseanne as well. Another
That was
double
unreal.
kill for Nappy.
Double kill.
7-0-1. As accidental good pain comes out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Beef. I think you stave off the push from Nappy. This is dangerous hero to play around right now. Templar Assassin doing what Kingpins needed, getting this game off to a fast start. Starting to take it over. Proxmine's picked up by Roseanne on the spell steal. See where those show up. So you're going to need another pause on the side of Kingpins.
A doodle for the ages.
United is working towards that Hand of Midas, so they're already kind of planning to be in for the long haul. I find a little interesting with the start that Nappy's been able to have on this Templar Assassin. I wouldn't mind seeing a faster build coming out from the Drow Ranger, but it's probably feeling more like the backup plan here. If they're not able to close out too fast, it's immediately blink in with the smoke. Blink reveal picks up another duel victory for Curly, and on a massive target of life, the Queen of Pain is now building up that net worth lead. Still pretty even because of how much farm Medusa can get. That's the reason running into the Rubik's proximity mines here. Getting brought down very low, in fact.
Dire have fortified their
Which is
structures
going to be able
against
to walk
attack.
that off. Sadly rotating in towards the mid lane, there's a ping out
There is little
onto
hope
Kobe
for
Beef.
Dire's
Nappy looking to hunt to get the glimpse back. And gets the cogs down,
kill.
but overall nods
Oh, no.
Curly, and puts so much damage. He's going to be able to steal traps. Back away. Now the charge coming through. No, it's going to be charged out for hijack. They're going to clear the area.
Is
Have to
under
get up this mid
Dire's
tower.
middle tower has fallen.
And immediately they're going to ping out Nana and get a big rotation. Glimpse is there in time. Massive glimpse from Sadly into the Static Storm. And a big pickup. God-like streak for Nappy in doing it in fashion by bringing down the Medusa. Incredibly nice rotation from Kingpins there to keep this early lead going. 2,000 net worth ahead now. Huge swing off of that Medusa kill. It's all going into the pockets of this Templar Assassin. Has
Dire's top tower
Dragonlance
is under
working
attack.
on the Desolator. Pretty standard build-up.
Dire should
Nappy.
look to their top tower.
Blue Beef working
Worthy
on
tribute.
Their
Pavis.
glyph is now
Very
active.
important into the tons of physical damage that
Dire's
Kingpins
top
is able
tower
to
is
put
under
out.
attack.
Yasha done on
Tower is in
Medusa.
danger.
Full Manta now
Dire's
showing
top
up.
tower is
This Medusa's game still going quite well. The Kingpins have to be careful about how much space they're able to give up to KNGI, because they certainly still have a path into this game with
Radiant's
the
bottom
Medusa.
tower
who's,
is in danger.
you know, considering that the Templar Assassin is godlike, is very close in net worth on an 0-2-1 Medusa. Double damage rune in the bottle for Nappy. Gonna spot out Roseanne. Not even gonna
Dominating
bother
performance.
picking
Ownage.
up, putting out the double damage rune. Actually won't quite find the kill. Meanwhile, top lane they find another kill on Kobe Beef. And another duel victory for Curly. Kingpins fully in a death ball right now, looking to keep up the pressure. Comes through 3K network. Hijack charging through,
Dire's top tower
just trying to
is
find
under
what farm
attack.
they can. And comes out on the tower. Desolator finished on Nappy.
Dire should look to their top tower. Radiant's
Got
bottom
mana
tower
boost,
is in
still
danger.
just the Blink Dagger. I really like this early Blink Dagger pickup for Curly, and we've seen, like, all three of these
Dire's
duels
top
have been off
tower is
of
under attack.
Blink Dagger, or at least two of them. Just really helps them set the pace in this game.
Dire should
Taking the
look
play
to their
around
top tower.
the Templar
Dire's top
Assassin.
tower has fallen.
Double damage.
Radiant's Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Push coming out from KNGI. Curly's setting up in the trees, looking towards life, and then they're going to bring Sadly over here too, and they're going to get Blink into the duel. Overwhelming odds stolen. Not going to get the lift in time, so they're able to find the kill. Not quite the duel victory, but now they glimpse back into the static storm. Will allow them.
They're unstoppable. Double kill.
Unstoppable streak now for Curly. Meanwhile,
Roshan in his pit.
that double damage rune is not going to find a kill on a hero. It's going to find a kill on Roshan. Another big jump up, and an Aegis now for Nappy. So Deuce has been farming. Is actually right toe-to-toe
There is little hope for
with the
Dire's
Templar
middle
Assassin.
tower.
Hijack, a cute little blink away after getting silenced on the onslaught in. They get a hook shot onto the Drow Ranger and the Cogs into the slam. KNGI find an important kill here, maybe looking to make it another as they get the blast off, stolen by Rubik to secure the kill on the Techies. So, some good pickups fighting into the Aegis by KNGI. Finding Nada, but Hijack's here too, and the damage is coming back towards Nappy. This is going to be the Aegis going down. Sadly's here to try to protect the respawn. They're going to get flips into the setup and the duel, but is able to get out the Stone Gaze before the duel goes off. So that's going to allow her to survive. Curly's actually the one backing up, and sadly, trying to get out a nice blink out of the gate. Now they get the pickup onto Nappy. Those visible, they have the detection. Overwhelming odds finds Roseanne. They finally end the streak on the Templar Assassin. Turn this around, they find the setup, and they bring Medusa down. So big losses on both sides. The fight continues. Hijack getting brought low now to Leonidas with just a Dragon Lance and a Hand of Midas. Still dishing out a good chunk of damage on this Drow Ranger, as it is a 3 for 4, but really a 4 for 4 because Nappy dies twice there. Overall, a very even fight. Both teams just getting a lot of gold through that. No loss of gold, XP almost even. Like, it's about as even as it gets. And I have to imagine for KNGI they're feeling pretty good about how that went. Especially just finally getting the kill on Nappy, even if it
A gift from the Tempest of Battle.
Now another ring gonna get picked up. The
Dire's bottom tower
stolen trap gonna scout it out, and it's an invis ring. There's plenty of detection there. Pavis ready to go on Kobe Beef. And huge survivability into the physical damage that Kingpins puts out. Medallion picked up by Rubik as well. These supports are itemizing super well into the drafted Kingpins. Which was a little bit of what I was worried about when we saw that Drow round out the draft of Kingpins having enough magic damage. Their supports bring a lot of damage to fights. Aghanim Scepter done on Drow. And going to ask for a 30-second pause at a very crucial time. Yeah, they have been pausing a lot. I think Leonidas is just dead. The hookshot's going to come in. They've got the follow-up from Hijack. If they can get the gust off, that's going to be the biggest thing. Alright. Let's see what they can find. The gust is going to come out on the clockwork, and they're going to get the rotation in for some reason. That's going to be enough to discourage continuing forward on that go for KNGI. A little too close to that tower for comfort. And yeah, more heroes making their way over. For Kingpins, and they're gonna smoke up now on 3. There's not much to find over here. It can just be a bit of a warding mission. Not going for the BKB right away on this Primal Beast. Has the Blink Dagger, working on a Halberd, which again, the itemization against the physical damage cores, very nice from KNGI. Happy works. Nada has the butterfly. That's gonna be massive. See if they play around that timing at all, because I don't think any of these heroes are looking at an MKB. Now they're gonna set up. They find the Templar Assassin. They're gonna run in. Able to find another kill on Nappy. It goes the way of life. The rotations from Kingpins not in time to save their Templar Assassin. Now KNGI, they've whittled this gold lead down. Medusa well in the driver's seat at this point.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
And bring out the pressure on this tower to fortify. We'll serve to relieve that, but they're going to continue committing for this. They've still got 23 seconds when they know the Templar Assassin is dead, and it looks like they're going to be able to convert that crucial pickoff into a tower. This game looking incredibly even all of a sudden. KNGI battling back from that early lead by Kingpins. Early has the Blade Mail done, working on BKB. Heki's with a full Solar Crest. We're getting some physical damage just for the team on this side as well. Interested to see... It's going to be a Hurricane Pike next to Nappy, so they are not looking at MKBs yet to respond to the butterfly. They should be aware of now after that last fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And still don't really have anybody that wants to build a Diffusal Blade, just trying to get through that mana shield on their regular damage alone. And none of these heroes really want to build a Diffusal Blade. I think you can on any of these 3 cores. It's not their favorite thing. It's not a normal item build for any of these heroes, despite being right click.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
KNGI now setting up quite a bit in their Radiant field.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Kingpins, they have a bit of an idea that they're playing down here as they throw out that scan towards that side of the map, but they're not quite playing on that side. Still a minute until Road respawn. They're actually looking to set up around the gates up here. The mines are going off, so they know that something's coming through. Hijack, there's so many mines here, it's immediately blown to pieces. They get the turnaround on Reach now, Trina is done, but now the Stream of Pain comes through, able to finish off Techies. Buffalo gets moved down in response, and now they get the setup. Really taking so much damage, but the silence, the storm from Sadly is enough to bring down the Medusa. They will try to get the kill in response, and Curly just going to be able to survive the magic nukes from the Ruve. And so it ends up being 1 for 4, a huge fight for Kingpins. Just when it looked like that early lead might have been slipping out of their grasp, they find a big setup with those Techie mines around Twin Gates. Take a massive fight.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Things will quiet
Dire's
down
bottom
again.
tower is under attack.
Hijack gonna try to jump in. On to Reason. Trying to bring the Titans down. Onslaught's here's the clockwork. With the hookshot to follow up like as well. Does get the disarm, so he's gonna survive a little bit longer. But Kobe Beef will actually finish that off with the rocket.
It's killing time.
Peggies could potentially allow KNGI to set up around the Roche spawn. They've got a minute until it comes up, and it'll be on the Dire side. Yeah, Circle gonna come out from Reason saying, like, play around here. So now they find another go, and this time it's on to Curly, who can get the trample through and the damage from Nada. That Blink Pulverize setup ready to go, and now they're certainly thinking about Roshan. Still 40 seconds. Fort's back up, but the whole squad of KNGI is going to march towards this top side. Some of the mines popping off is going to tip them off towards this move a bit. Beast playing forward. They're going to get the hookshot on a Reason. Nada's all the way back here behind the tower. Coming with another Pulverize onto Reason. Who gets shredded as soon as they teleport back in. They're going to look for this tower. Roshan respawning in 10. They're going to pick up the tower. Napian sadly still playing back here. Hiding in the trap. Going to find the setup with the Static Storm. Going to be forced to blink away before they can finish the kill. The Pavis coming in clutch. They're going to turn back towards Kobe Beef. They get the teleport away from, sadly, it's Nappy against the world. Hijack is on no health, but it's in with the Pulverize and the Scream of Pain. Finishes it off. And that should be the potential for Roshan. Roseanne finds it. Gonna be up in this pit for another 3 minutes. A little low on resources, but not as full.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And has the Eye of Scotty ready to go. Net worth lead, pretty dead even again. This Roshan should be a jump forward. Aegis and Cheese in the second Roshan of the game. Cheese can be massive for a user as well. I think potentially going to somebody else. Just for the sake of slots. How the second put it is now. Kingpins making their way in. Code Deep is going to be able to stall it out. Will give up the life to protect the take of Roshan. Now, life to one thing, they get the silence from the dust. Jump forward, continuing to set up on this Medusa, trying to kill. Get the duel onto Hijack now with the BKB. Able to survive through the duel, now just going to try to teleport away. Static Storm comes out onto the life, but it's not enough to save the life of the Disruptor. Sadly, it will fall, and KNGI, off of the Roche fight, find both support kills in a trade for just one of their own.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Cheese dropped here was just pink. Did anybody... Who has the cheese? Goes it up top. Here, pass it off to them. And they're going to turn that into another tower up in this top lane, and maybe even a push forward. Supports will be respawning soon, but they've got the Aegis. Nada sitting at half mana. Gonna chip away at this tower. Navi making their way back, but it looks like this tier 3 is going to be picked up pretty easily for KNGI. Reason now potentially trying to set up all of KNGI sitting back. That introduces online. Here they jump in. They find the kill. Reason's the first to go down. They will find the Aegis. Now Hijack gets the Pulverize onto Nappy, but their refraction is able to protect them, and then away with a huge hookshot in onto the Drow Ranger. They turn back with the skill liaise. Set up, find the kill on a Sadly, and the split shots are coming out onto Nappy in the back line. The damage comes out from this Medusa. How can they stop them? Kobe Beat trying to get away now. He's going to get dueled, but damage coming out. Charlie is going to end up trading after picking up the duel victory. And with the Legion Commander dead in a trade for just the Clockwork, this might be another chance to go forward as another Pulverize. Tail end of it going to get cancelled by the Static Storm. Lena is now putting in the damage, but it doesn't look like that much damage is really being done, and now they're going to turn on Nappy, who's sitting low. Reason gets to jump forward, only finds the stun onto Hijack, who they are able to kill. get the Primal Beast, and that will be the defense of these top lane barracks for Kingpins. But a 5,000 net worth lead on the side of KNGI. This Medusa is fully online, and they've yet to find the answer. Lincoln Sphere is going to be the next item for Nappy that's queued up. Leonidas looking at a Silver Edge. I don't think great mana shield, because that would just completely delete the hero. So I'm left sure what that break is for. I mean, I think just the crit and the invis is what I was looking for. So now they're going to get Blink in. They find the duel, but it's going to be a turnaround. Duel victory is not gotten by Curly, and it's going to be 3 kills. But we'd be looking for more. They're just going to turn this into a push. KNGI, they have gotten to their late game. They survived the mid-game onslaught by this Templar assassin.
Radiant's middle tower
and now
is under
they're
attack.
looking to close out this game 1, get off to an early series lead, and move on in this weekend's tournament. Jack blinks forward, but can get silenced before they can get pulverized off. Damage is going to come out. Primal Beast is going to shatter.
Now that you're dead, I find it easy to respect you.
Looking for a spot to set up, but they're going to smoke away. Now he blinks forward. Drop down the cogs, just be able to escape, and get a hook shot away as well. Another Halberd on this Clockwork is going to often be in position. Ooh, Gust picked up by the Rubik. It'll be a pretty scary steal depending on how Kingpins position in a fight. They can find that they go for the blink in, and Rubik's able to respond with the Gust. Sadly, he's working on the Aghanim Scepter. It feels very far away. Now they're going to get chased forward. Find the trap set up, but the disarm comes out. Here comes more damage. They get the duel. But once again, the Stone Gaze is off, and it's going to be a cold one by the Medusa through the Static Storm. The damage from Techi's Mines comes out. Can they finally bring down Nada? They can. Now the charge forward. They're going to look for a return kill onto the Reason, but the damage is coming out from Nappy. Glimpse back.
Dominating, I guess.
As Blake finds the kill on the Rubik in the backline. Now they're going to look forward. They're going to buy back from Reason to try to help Nappy stave off this fight. KNGI hijack, though, getting in a scary position, but now the damage comes out from Life.
Double kill.
And it'll be a trade of the Primal Beast for the Templar Assassin. And Reason off of the buyback is looking
More
for
than
the
2
Rubik
kills,
kill,
but less than 4
find
kills.
it before going down.
Worthy tribute.
So all 5 dead, and the Techies without a buyback. KNGI, they lose their Medusa and Primal Beast, but they win the fight. And continue to grow this massive lead they've accrued. Gem up on this Clockwork now. Means the meld Templar Assassin and far less effective. Do have the Monkey King bar picked up on the Templar Assassin. So they are going to have more damage into Naga, or into the Medusa. And then working on the Salt Cuirass, going to be a huge aura in this game, both offensively and defensively. Leonidas has finished the Silver Edge, looking at a BKB next. He's going to have that extra critical damage. Oh, Tango. Just been chilling there for most of the game. Silver Edge is matched on the other side.
Regeneration.
Be a little harder for the Drow to use that Silver Edge as an escape with the gem on Kobe Beef until they're able to bring down the Clockwork. BKB's now ready on Crown Beast. They're gonna smoke up, see what they can find. They've still got cheese on Medusa, so almost a second wave. If Nada can manage to get it off. 10 seconds until the potential for a Roche spawn. Hijack's gonna check it immediately. It's not gonna be up yet. It's gonna be a 35-second respawn, so pretty quick one. Means if KNGI continue playing around this area, they've got a good chance of getting that third Roche. Once again, it's going to be on the Dire side for quite a while, which now with the third Roshan coming up is going to make a Refresher Shard be available. We'll see if they want that Refresher Shard. It seems who they give that to. Maybe Primal Beast. Maybe just get a second Stone Gaze if they have the slots for it. As they find a Pulverize, they find Nappy in their triangle, trying to escape, but it won't be enough. The damage comes out, and that's a massive pickup. 90 seconds with no Templar Assassin. Who... What item had they just finished? That must have been the BKB. Not able to get a chance to use it before going down. And now does not have the gold for buyback. Reason's going to scout this out, so it's going to be Kingpins who are the first to know that Roshan is back up, and they are playing around this area. They've got Leonidas actually in very deep with the Silver Edge. Hijack and Kobe Beef playing around in this area. They're going to get the Pulverize onto Reason. He's going to go down, and they get the hook shot forward, but immediately glimpsed back. They're not going to be able to find the setup on early. But now KNGI are going to check the Roshan pit. They'll find that it has respawned. And with 2 heroes dead, with no buyback, it will be easy Roshan KNGI. So it's going to be another cheese. Aegis for Medusa. Or a Refresher Shard for somebody. Looks like it'll go to Hijack. Get that second Pulverize, get that second BKB, and even the additional Heaven's Halberd is pretty huge in this game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
KNGI, can they use this Aegis to close out this game? It's not an easy team to push high ground into. The combination of, I mean, really all of these heroes. You've got the Mind, you've got the threat of the Duel and the Static Storm. It's actually just going to look towards the Glimmercade, not going to try to finish that Agnew Scepter yet. Big range damage from the Drow Ranger. Let's see how KNGI choose to go about this. For now, they're just going to farm, kind of setting up around this top racks that they started pushing in off of the last Aegis. The side blades from the Templar Assassin also just absolutely delete creep waves, which makes it harder to push in. They're going to make their first attempt. The damage coming out immediately onto Nada, already low on mana. Illusions are in, going to be quickly dispatched. KNGI won't be able to find anything yet other than a bit of damage on the ranged barracks. I'll back up. That sounded like a cheese getting in. That was just to restore some mana on the Medusa, who has the Swift blink now. So look out for a big Stone Gaze initiation on top of that extra attack speed.
I'll take that.
Dire's bottom
They're
tower
going to
is
leave
under
their
attack.
defense mostly
Dire's
to
bottom tower is no more.
Nappy, and Leonidas actually able to pick up that tier 1 tower that is stuck
Dire
around
are scanning
in
for
the bot lane.
enemies.
Roseanne TP'd up here. They're looking for something. They're gonna spot
Dyer's
early.
bottom
Do they
tower is
see each
under
other
attack.
yet? This is a dangerous spot to be. Now Hijack gonna blink in, gets the onslaught stun into the pulverize on the Drow Ranger. Does get a chance to get the BKB off, but then the refresh into another pulverize with the BKB, and the invis is going to be enough to survive. Holy Beef zipping in as well, not in time, and they manage to survive
Scanning for enemies.
and escape. So meanwhile, Nada's now been left alone over here. Has a double damage rune. He's going to turn towards Nappy. Won't say to get to the disarm. The Illusion's still dishing out the damage. Run forward with the Stone Gaze. Team on their way over. Reason gets stunned up by the Stone Gaze before they get the blast off. Now they jump forward from Hijack. Finds the pulverize and they immediately combo it into the hook shot. The damage from the mines is there, but not enough. Sadly, he's going to go down and will buy back. Now Life is caught in the Static Storm, is going to fall. Two buybacks come out now, both supports. Get the duel onto Medusa, that's the first Life down. They have the damage to get the Techie's mines blow up Hijack and Roseanne. And Medusa will be forced to escape. Dishing out the damage, but will be forced to hook shot away to escape. There's one more Desolator attack flying out, but it won't.
New treasure. Boom! There it goes.
Now Kingpins, they get a crucial defense here, only losing a ranged barracks.
Rock it on.
They're gonna push for more. See if they can find this middle tower.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Damage from the Desolator means that
Dyer's
tower will
middle
go
tower
down quite quickly.
is no more.
And maybe now looking at a high ground push of their own. Buybacks are available for the side of KNGI, but not sure they want to commit them here. They're gonna use the Fortify, try to stall this push, but they've got a good amount of creeps, so backdoor protection. So we'll be able to clear up the creeps, but not fast enough. Now they get the hook shot. Just as the tower goes down, Leonidas able to force staff away. The Stone Gaze comes out, does find a stun onto Leonidas, and now they can throw on Medusa. Leonidas getting depleted, can they find the kill? Medusa goes down. 100 seconds unless they choose to buy back. Other buybacks have come out. Clockwork comes back. They get the detection onto Nappy. To be a big return kill with 4 already dead. Can they close out a full team wipe? They have the vision again. They get the lift, and Nappy will fall to KNGI. Defend in spectacular fashion. Nada goes down. But they bring down 5 heroes on the other side. Nappy going to be forced to buy back. 3 heroes without buybacks, though, on the side of Radiant. And those are mostly cooldowns. Drow Ranger just a little bit short on cash. So we might be able to see a buyback there soon. Looks like Nappy trying to stall enough. Now he's going to get pushed back. There's the 4th buyback from Legion Commander, forced to commit it just before respawning. But is it in time? Can they find the kill on the Templar Assassin? Get the duels up onto Curly to stall out and help them provide, and they do. They find the dieback on both of these heroes. And now no buybacks remain. It's going to be just the respawns of Drow Ranger and both supports. And Leonidas, sadly, and Reason mount a defense without the help of their mid or off-laners. KNGI. Okay, Leonidas with big damage. He's going to find OVD. Teleporting Reason. Oh, the blink away just in time from life. Hijack able to escape as well. But they will hold for now. Middle barracks go down. Creeps working on that top.
Top barracks are under attack.
Melee barracks That will return going forward from Nala to finish off the tower. These are the fuels up into the Ghost Scepter, but now they're going to find the damage in towards Leonidas. Still 40 seconds without a Legion Commander, and they get the kill on Reason as well. No buyback for Techies for 4 minutes. Another set of barracks down, and they're going to turn their attention towards the tier 4s. Medusa continues teeing them off. Life going to go finish off the Mega Creeps potentially. It's Kingpins.
The tower is under attack.
Having to watch their base fall. Can they find a defense in time? The Mega Creeps are picked up. They get a nice static throw on Medusa. Medusa doesn't mind if she can't cast spells. Brings out the damage on the Disruptor, who will go down. And the stuns are there. Still carrying the kill on in the game. The buyback's going to be there, but it's not going to be enough. KNGI NA in game 1 of this best of 3. And start off a day of TDL in great fashion. Bouncing back from that big early lead that Kingpins built on the back of Nappy. I mean, the itemization here, I think, is the biggest difference. You had the Scythe of Ice come out from Life at the end, too, but just all of these physical damage defensive items that they picked up, and I think Kingpins really didn't match those on the other side. Alright, we're going to get the lobby set up, take a little break, and then we'll be back for game number 2. Alright, we're back for game 2. We're getting right into the draft. KNGI took game 1.
Dire's turn to ban.
Kingpins, as KNGI also won the coin flip game 1. Kingpins this time have chosen second pick. KNGI chose to stay on the Dire side.
Ten seconds remain. 5 seconds remain.
We'll see how the draft plan is adjusted in this game number 2. For both sides. Are Kingpins going to prioritize a Medusa ban?
Radiant's turn to ban.
KNGI, they respect Nappy as Templar Assassin, and it's hard to argue with that. After that early game performance, it really looked like Kingpins were just going to completely run away with it. KNGI able to get
Dire's turn to ban.
enough space to survive into the late game and let their Medusa come online. Undying going to get banned out again without even the Snapfire ban, because that support's just good no matter what.
Radiant's turn
Spirit
to
Breaker
ban.
going to get banned out once again by KNGI and A. Yeah, they're on the same side. So last time KNGI did the Undying ban with the Spirit Breaker.
10 seconds remain.
So we'll see either Snapfire
5
or
seconds. Dire's
or,
turn
it was
to
Timbersaw.
pick.
So we see Snapfire make it through. Timbersaw banned out. Curious to
Radiant's
see which
turn
team,
to pick.
if either, do go for the Snapfire. KNGI and A going to open with their Rubik once again. It was an impressive performance by Roseanne last game, and it's such a great draft opener. It doesn't show you really anything, and it makes the draft
10
that much harder for the
seconds.
opposite side.
5 seconds remain.
Kingpins now going to answer with their pair of opening picks. See if they prioritize a Nappy hero once again in the first phase like they did with the Templar Assassin last game. Maybe grab that Snapfire here since they manned it out. But it's a little awkward into the Rubik because you know that her ult can always get stolen. Because it's channeled ult. So she casts it, Rubik pretty much guaranteed going to steal that spell if they want it. Kingpins once again a little deep into their reserve time off the bat. 1 minute to go, so we should see a couple quick picks out
Radiant's
of them to open
turn
up
to
this
pick.
round. Bat Rider going to be the first pickup. This was another hero we saw a lot of at Riyadh Masters. Pretty versatile. It can be played, I think it was most often getting played in the 4-5 role, but it works as a mid or
Dire's turn
off lane
to
as well. And they're going to steal away the Primal Beast, so deny the opening that KNGI had for their draft last game of the Rubik Primal Beast, which was a pretty solid lane. We'll see. So this is, I really like the
10
flexibility of this
seconds
opening
remain.
that we're getting from Kingpins, because both Bat Rider and Primal
5
Beast, like, this could just be a
seconds.
lane duo, and it's like a very straightforward off lane, and it's a decent off lane.
It is
Or you
Dire's
could have both of
ban.
these in cores, the
Ember
Primal Beast
Spirit.
mid lane. KNGI going to pick up the Ember Spirit. So
It is
a little
Radiant's
similar
ban.
to Kingpin's draft from last game, opening with a support and then most likely a mid lane hero. Really aren't seeing Ember Spirit played outside of the mid lane right now. Immediately into the Monkey King ban.
10 seconds.
So immediately, I mean, a couple repeat heroes, but a very different draft than last game. We're going to see the Bloodseeker banned out. I imagine that's going to get answered with a Pangolier ban.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Ban the Skywrath.
Dire's turn to
Faceless
ban.
Void can get banned out. Quick bans from Kingpins here. They know what they do not want to play against. And yeah, that Faceless Void would be pretty scary. Snapfire getting left in the pool here, though we potentially already see both mid lane heroes. And it's still a decent support. And most teams aren't playing it in the off lane, but some still will.
5 seconds remain.
Just as that's like one of the bigger potential combos with a Faceless Void. They wanted to go that route. Skywrath ban means they're maybe worried about seeing the Legion Commander again, but don't want to actually ban it. It was a pretty good Legion Commander performance by Curly. So I think they just want to make sure that if they do go back to it, it's not going to have some crazy combo like a Skywrath.
It is Radiant's ban.
Slark will be the last ban of this phase for KNGI NA.
Radiant must choose.
Will be answered by the Medusa ban. So interesting to me that the... Well, I guess it's the fact... I'm curious what this Bloodseeker is protecting. I mean, I guess it protects the Batrider and the Primal Beast, spanning it out because both of those heroes want to move around a lot.
10 seconds.
Like, the Bloodseeker ban normally screams Silencer, but it's looking less open with the Primal Beast already showing. I mean, if they put the Primal Beast in the middle, then it's an opening for a Pangolier. Silencer will be the pick for Kingpin. So again, sticking to that strategy of a
5 seconds.
Second support in the opener of the second phase. Show as little of your plan as possible. Again, assuming the Batrider support, but it can really move around. I think that that's the most likely option they'll go with. Also, if this is going to be a pair of ranged supports, means that they're setting up for a melee carry, which we might see round out this phase into fans to protect it.
Dire must choose.
KNGI now drop down in the reserve time. Beastmaster gonna get picked up. This was banned out last game, so we should get to see some good stuff from Hijack on this Beastmaster. Gives you really good lockdown, which is most important for the Primal Beast and the Batrider.
Clockwork!
They're gonna bring back the Kobe Beef Clockwork. Honestly, like, it would be easy to look at that last game and say, oh, Kobe Beef died a bunch of times. Like, that wasn't a good Clockwork game. Clockwork's a hero that's designed to die a bunch of times. Like, I think that a ton of space was made by this Clockwork. And it will set up another ranged carry, most likely. Assuming it's the same support hero pairings as last game, which they both did well on their heroes, so I wouldn't expect them to switch players there. We'll see what gets left in the pool for ranged carries. Already got the Medusa ban, so it's not going to be a repeat last game.
Dire's turn to ban.
Full Warlord picked up by Kingpins. This hero has not been popular for a while, but was showing up in a few games at Rion Masters, so is not completely out of the meta here. That, like, he's both a ranged and a melee hero,
10
so
seconds.
still not exactly clear how the lane pairings are going to go.
5 seconds.
Because he's pretty fine laning with
Radiant's turn to
Batrider
ban.
or Silencer, or if this is a weird, like, 4 Primal Beast, which I think is totally viable. It looks like KNGI expect
It
that
is
Primal
Dire's
Beast
ban. It is Radiant's
and Bat Rider in the off lane. So they're going to ban out 2 mid heroes. It'll be the Storm Spirit and the Queen of Pain. Morphling, that's a big ranged carry. That was still in the pool. Lanes very nicely with the Clockwork. That gets taken away by Kingpins. Was banned out last game as well. We'll see
10
one
seconds.
more ban. Maybe a Drow Ranger. Drow Clockwork lane's really gross.
5 seconds remain.
It's similar to like the Drow and Dying lane. Will potentially be a hard lane pairing for the Kingpins off lane to play into. Seven seconds left on the reserve time.
Dire's
It's going to be a Naga Siren ban. Which, yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a ranged hero with the Clockwork. And Kingpins... I could see the game going pretty similarly to last game if KNGI got a Naga Siren here. Able to
Radiant must choose.
just swoop that farmer line. It's going to be a Terrorblade, so they're going to lean on that strategy anyway. Again, hero that is kind of both melee and range, so should be fine with the Clockwork in the lane, and it's going to be the potential for a lot of
10
kills, because whenever he uses
seconds
Metamorphosis, if Clockwork can get somebody in cogs, that hero's probably going to die.
Meepo!
Oh, and it's the last
Enforce
pick
your
Meepo
will
for the side
upon
of
the
Kingpins.
battlefield
That's
today.
going to be Nappy's hero. Yeah, it'll be Hurley on the Primal Beast. So it is an offlane Primal Beast laning with the Bat Rider, so that is your lane pairing there. And nothing else as far as surprises. Unless they decide to swap the supports, because they've not locked in yet for KNGI. Yeah, sadly, will be on a position 5 Silencer. And Reason will be the position 4 with the... So this does end up being your offlane duo, which seemed like the most likely option, but I do think it was nice having that.
10 seconds.
Yep, Roseanne will lock in the Rubik, so it is going to be the support heroes that we expected based on last game. So we'll see if KNGI can repeat the magic, make a bunch of space with the same support duo but a few different cores, and this time making the space for a Terrorblade instead of a Medusa. Or will Kingpins bounce back after that game 1? Nappy, instead of looking to have a splashy performance on a Templar Assassin, is going to be on the Meepo. See if they can find a runaway here. Primal Beast, I think, also going to play into their early game even better than a Legion Commander. But Troll Warlord, can a Troll Warlord go late against a Terrorblade? Like, this feels, despite how many different heroes there are, this feels like a very similar draft and very similar strategies from both teams, which I think is cool for Kingpins, because it means, I mean, especially after seeing how great a start they had, like, they're confident in their strategy. They knew they were close to being able to close out that game 1, and they're going to look to do it the same way in this game too, and stick to that plan of finding the early game advantage. Both sides going to smoke up to get out of Fountain a little bit faster. See if either side looks to make a play this time.
How you doing? Tell me someone saw that. Oh, for crying out loud! Not what you expected.
And it looks like Kingpins are going to potentially go up this high ground into Dire Jungle. Nobody going to show yet. Nada hiding behind the trees. Now going to step forward a little bit. Still not quite being seen. Leonidas will spot them, start throwing out some axes, gets the slow from the ranged whirling axes. So Beef will hang out there, and it looks like they'll just set up on this rune. We'll see if KNGI... I think Roseanne's gonna step up, go on this rune, because they did see just about every Kingpin's hero on the top side. We have a pause from the side of KNGI. After many pauses from Kingpins. And it'll just be a quick one. They're ready to go.
The quest for ultimate glory
Making
continues.
sure their comms and connection are all set. A little bit of interesting positions, as it looks like Kingpins will be able to hold their position up here. Kobe Beef gonna grab down here and there. It will just be an even split of runes, despite that positioning early on from Kingpins. They are going to mix it up a little bit, and Kobe Beef is going to be brought low and is going to just escape, will not give up the first blood this time. It's going to be low, but has plenty of regen. So let's see. Where do we think there's going to be a lot of fights here? Already pretty low in the mid lane. They've been scrapping it up. But he was pretty scrappy without any kills last game as well. We'll see if Life is able to handle this Meepo better than the start that Navi got last game. Navi did also get the big boost from getting the first blood on Kobe Beef at the start of that game. Now looking to bring out the pressure on the early Terror Blade. Here is not super strong at level 1, only has the mirror image available, no potential to turn with the Metamorphosis. Bot lane was pretty quiet last game too. Looks like the noise is going to keep being in top lane as they charge forward onto Nada under tower with the Firefly, but it's actually going to be Reason that goes down first to the tower. Kobe Beef will be found by Curly, but now Nada gets level 2, gets the Metamorphosis. It's still pretty low, so is not going to be able to chase Curly down. It's just going to be a trade of supports. Meanwhile, bot side, they find the triangle. It's going to be a trade of supports on both sides of the road. So it ends up being a split first blood because the tower got the final hit on Reason. So not much of a big first blood bonus. And then Curly, the offlaners get the kills. It's super. It's like a dead even trade there in terms of who died, who got the kills. Offlaners got one of the kills, supports got the kills, there's the split kill. I'm going to try to set up on the Lotuses. The lane is pushing forward towards the Radiant side, so a little harder for Reason to get this. As bot side, there's a lot more action last game. They find a kill in this battle of the axes. Zen picking up the zap on Leonidas. Big find. Top side looking for another kill on Nada. Can they bring down the Terror Blade this time? Once again going to fall just short of this kill. There's almost no health on this Terror Blade. Pretty low on regen options too. Is going to get one last Tango. Still a few more in the tank for Kobe Beef. Keep Terror Blade topped up. Mid lane's been pretty quiet. Life ahead so far, 22-6 to 18-3. The mid laners are out in front across the board. That should help. Winning the last pit battle so far. Get a rotation from Roseanne towards the mid lane around the 4-minute water runes. Maybe gonna look to set up on this Meepo, as one of the Meepos is pretty low. Is just gonna try to run away. Top lane getting pushed in under tower. Really trying to get rid of this stacked camp. Pulls a little harder. Hand's getting blocked up already as well. Offside, high trap getting low. Leo's looking for something, gets thrown back by Rosen. Oh, one last axe comes out and will find the kill for Leonidas. So nice bounce back. Level 4 on this Troll Warlord. 18 and 4 on the last hits. So off to a good start, despite how deaths have gone, able to even it out now at ones across the board for both cores in that lane. Chasing forward, the wand charges are there. It will be okay.
That was not your...
Meepo Prime, healing up in base. He's gonna poof out now and maybe look for something. Twister turned away. Top lane continues to be scrappy. Hogs catch early, but not Reason, so not able to get chased. Now they're gonna look for the onslaught forward on the able to get the space away from Reason, and now Nada trying to turn with the Metamorphosis, but is going to die to the trample. Double kill for
Thanks
Curly.
for playing Dota 2.
They
Double
find
kill.
a big one in the top lane, finally bringing down that Terrorblade after a few close calls. The pressure from this Batrider Primal Beast duo has been immense.
Dire's top tower is in
They get
danger.
the payoff they've been looking for. Mid lane, Kobe Beef off of the respawn, gonna get the bottle reset. Life has no complaints about the support dying up top. And now that's also gonna set up playing around Power Rune, and it's gonna set up for Hogs onto Nappy. Get the Zapper lands in around the back too. They get the lift up, but finds the invisibility rune on the spawn. Oh, Gaben is a fan of Nappy today, although Roseanne will get the courier. As they escape. But wow, like any other, like maybe an Illusion as well. But like any other rune needs can be really hard. I guess a double damage with the Ransack lifesteal. Potentially, but an incredibly close call. 6 minutes 30, so we're gonna see Kobe Beef look to set up and just hide on the Wisdom rune. Reason's a little low and is gonna swing by. They ping out that the Clockwork's missing. Roseanne, both of these teams setting up so early on the Wisdom runes to try to secure it. It doesn't look like there'll be a fight for the top one. Ori's gonna bring over. But actually given away by the Clockwork, and it's going to be Reason able to secure the Wisdom rune. The Kobe Beef doesn't manage to steal it and will TP home. Meanwhile, Nada goes off into the jungle to get that farm going. Take a look at her net worth. Leonidas out to make a start. But very even across the board with these cores. Definitely a lead for Kingpins at this point, with the Terrorblade and Beastmaster a little behind. But certainly not a problem for them at this point. There's plenty of room for this Terrorblade to come back. So they're going to TP sadly over. Try to deal with Roseanne. Snappy will get that kill. Like, trying to find something on Sadly is going to get the Sleight of Fist and the Ember away. The Remnant away. Top lane looking to set up on Nada again, knowing that Pokemon is not in the area. They're going to get the Pulverize.
A dominating performance.
Had the point in Sunder, but no chance to get it off with the Pulverize. They're going to look to make a rotation to try to get the return kill onto Curly Life. Slow from the grenade into the cogs. They've got a lot of things hitting Curly, but not a lot of damage. Now the damage is coming out. Throw down the Flame Break, and that is looking to be enough room for Curly to escape. Still ways away from a hook shot to try to follow that up. And Life will just return to the mid lane. This is actually where Nada's going to come to farm off of the respawn, so Life is going to look for somewhere else. Vanguard, once again, the first pickup for Primal Beast.
Mega kill.
As another Pulverize comes out and finds the kill on Rosen. This time for Kingpins, it is Curly who's off to the monstrous start. Mega kill streak, 5-0 for this Primal Beast. 2K lead as all 3 cores for Kingpins sit at the top of the charts. Leonidas looking to open with the Battle Fury.
Double damage!
They're gonna bring Nappy down here as well. Pops the double damage picked up by Reason. They're gonna get the Primal Roar off. Nappy brings another Miko down. They're able to find the kill. Can they get anything in return on KNGI? Reason running in as Nappy runs out. But sadly shown up as well. Going to get the Firefly up onto the high ground, but they find the vision, they find the zap, and find the kill. Now that means that don't quite get the kill on life. No, now it comes back, bounces through with the sleight of fist, and now it's going to find the return kill on Nappy and almost gets Rosen is going to go down to the neutral stacks. What a wild play from that big stack here. My goodness, the sleight of fist kept life off of the map for so long. And I think Kingpins assumed the same thing I did at first, that life was able to remnant away, and so started backing up. They might have been able to just sit on that location for the sleight of fist and kill. Curly now going to come down here to look to mount the defense of this tower. Life still playing in the area. Bo3 is going to teleport away.
Look to their middle tower.
Inside the cogs. We have to ping out that life is headed towards mid, so looking to stop this push into Nappy. Primal Beast on the way as well, but they're going to get the net initially onto life. Here's the charge in from Curly, who's following behind Spirit. Now it's going to be Rosen who's in trouble as Curly tramples forward. To be a big kill if they manage to punish this, but a really awkward. Cogs not quite catching Curly. Now the remnant coming out from life. Keep looking towards Nappy because Depot is pretty low. And one last hit will do it. Killing spree for life. Curly escapes, but Nappy does not. And the tower is held for now as Nada picks up the kill on Siege Creek.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Things will quiet down on the map a little bit.
Dire's top tower
Leonidas is looking to finish up this top tower nice and quick. Almost has that Battle Fury ready to go. Curly charges forward, has found Nada farming in the jungle. The trample damage is massive, but Nada gets the sunrise just before the pulverize. That timing is going to save Nada's life, and now speaking of life, they will be rotating in. Ember Spirit looking to find something in the spot. Leonidas comes through now that Global Silence comes out, sadly. And that's going to be big trouble for Nada, who will go down and find a kill on Bo3 as well, and life goes to course. Leonidas comes back around, Leonidas pops the ult, chase forward, stays locked in on the Ember Spirit, and the root
Double kill
from the Troll Warlord is enough to hold life in place and continue Kingpin's early win.
Dire should look to their top tower.
A similar start to last game, Kingpins starting things off with a crazy
Dire's
fast
top
lead.
tower is under attack. And
this time it's, to me, looking a little better for them because they've managed to find kills on Nada this time where they did not last game. They're playing around the top side of the map much more. See how deep Reason is, getting more scouting. They want to keep finding kills on this Terrorblade. They do not want to let KNGI build up the lead like they did last game.
There it goes.
Dire's middle tower is falling.
Nappy gonna finish off the middle tower.
Say hello to my lesser friends.
There will briefly be even more Meepos running. Like, get some scouting done with those. The thematic shovel pickup by Meepo, love to see it, and has started. Already has the Rod of Atos finished and is working on the Aghanim Scepter. The pretty standard build of Meepo on the current patch, the Rod of Atos and the Aghanim Scepter just giving an absurd amount of stats, which Meepo had always prioritized in the past already. Now the Rod of Atos is going to find Kobe Beef, but the Cogs will get enough space for Nappy. Not going to back away yet. Mirror image, if there's going to be evil Meepos hitting the good Meepos, that will be enough for them to back away. Curly and Reason, and sadly here, they're actually all going to smoke up and maybe look to keep the pressure, keep playing around this area while they split things out. Opposite side, KNGI. Oh, they find another setup on Tanada with the global silence. The pulverize comes out. Oh, he's in the animation for the Sunder when he dies. Absolutely brutal. They get the kill on Kobe Beef as well. And the strong start from Kingpins continues. They're going to potentially look towards this middle tower with the siege creep coming in. Also setting up around the triangle. They will get what they get. The lift up on Sadly. The big nuke. The silencer will go down. Now they're potentially going to chase forward, look for more. Meepo has already evacuated, so Reason has gone out as well. They're going to TP some heroes up towards Leonidas. See if they can find a catch on this Roar. Available. They get the Primal Roar. Going a little bit into this, not quite long enough, so will survive for now with the ultimate. He's going to return to get some damage in, but he's just getting absolutely torn apart by the Metamorphosis. Lasso comes out from Reason as well, but it's not going to be enough. And KNGI find 2 big kills to keep this game close. Drums of Slom have arrived for Hijack. That's a stolen flaming lasso from Rosanna to set up onto the Meepo. Now switches over to the Poof. They're going to find the kill on Cody. Yes, Hijack is going to be there to finish it off. Nappy does get the kill. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the map, Sadly kills Life over on the side of that fight. Curly is able to interrupt. TP away. Tip comes out from Leonidas, but still needs a good amount of damage to find the kill onto Hijack. Leonidas is here as well, and that is going to be enough. Tip was there saying, hey, thanks for the kill, but you just secured me like that. Canceling that teleport. How did Ember Spirit die here? Just to a bunch of curses? I think just to a bunch of curses. I missed my chance to look at the specific death of that. Must have been something else. Either way, it is 4 dead in exchange for an important kill on the Meepo, but certainly worth it for the side of KNGI as Kingpins press onwards, looking to even out this series 1-1. Continue on in this week's TDL.
Radiant should look to their middle tower.
Boom! There it goes!
Hijack working on the Guardian Grief now to look towards more of the Aura build.
Dire's top tower is
Roseanne working on the Force Staff. Slay. Finds the initiation. Now they get jumped onto Sadly. Flaming Lasso means that this is going to be a trade of supports. The Global Silence not quite going to be able to set up for more, but Curly has the UKB, gets the Pulverize. The Primal Roar in response, but they're still going to find enough damage to bring down Life. Net doesn't quite connect on Roseanne. Looks like Rubik will be able to escape. Hijack backing off as well, scouting things out with the Hawk. But they will convert that into tower. First tier 2 to fall. It's in favor of Kingpins. They manage to trade supports and pick up the kill on the mid laner.
Radiant's bottom tower is in
Looks like they're going to turn towards Roshan as well. They've got a good team to do it. In just Troll Warlord alone loves taking a Roshan. The Rocket player is going to scout this out, so they're going to TP over here, but will it be in time? Nice pops the ult, Nada's showing up. Going to start with the mirror image. A lot of damage coming in, but Nada is low on mana, it's already getting knocked down. Now they find the kill on Rosen, looking towards Curly as well. Double kill for life, as 3 dead now on the side of Kingpins. Roche still at half health. Navi trying to escape, but now they get the Sunder. Nada, they were the first ones to get brought low, and this is going to turn into a Roshan for KNGI. The scouting from the Hawk and from the Rocket player means that they find the perfect opportunity for a game-turning fight. Now we'll see what they choose to do with this Aegis. Still have to play a little bit careful, as there's a bit of a lead still in favor of Kingpins. Looks like they will farm with this for now. Roseanne's still playing pretty far forward over here. Reason going to fuck up, has the Blink Dagger, gets the Flame Lasso. Flame Break backwards is going to try to TP away, and just is going to take out to the fire and from these wards. That gives Kingpins a little bit more space to play around the Aegis for now. Things are coming out onto Leonidas. Ooh, the hookshot doesn't quite connect. Just shy of level 2. I think a level 2 hookshot would have hit Leonidas there, and maybe would have been
Never refuse
a chance
school.
for a kill. But Curly was able to get into the area too off of the gates.
Dire's middle tower is
Potential
under
for an
attack.
interesting fight there. Buffer had just a tiny bit more experience. Dire Watcher is seeing the Wisdom Rune here. See who ends up picking that up. We didn't see a single Tormentor last game, did we? Completely not a priority at all for these teams.
Eager to know Dire's whereabouts.
Not on this Aegis. Nada looking to finish up Scotty. Ags is ready for the Meepo, so we can see a Mega Meepo in this next fight. They get the root, but once again the Cog is going to give some space, going to give a little extra time for Kobe B to try to escape. Sadly coming in with the Pavis as well. It will remain a quiet Aegis for now. I think, honestly, Nada is fully happy just farming on this Aegis. I mean, the Aegis was kind of a bonus. It wasn't something that KNGI were thinking about getting to try to fight around. They just were looking... They just saw that Kingpins were prepared to go for it, and were able to take a good fight off of the back of it. And it looks like this Aegis is going to get Nada all the way to this Scotty. It's going to be very scary. Terrorblade right in line with the Meepo, not far behind Leonidas as well on the Warlord, who has the Basher ready to go, Casual Yasha, and the BKB. This is still a very scary Troll Warlord. Trying to set up onto life, but has the BKB, so he's going to be able to turn it around with the Searing Phase. Mega Meepo is activated. Leonidas is now using Force of BKB as well. The Eye of Scotty comes in, and they get the Primal Roar before he can get the ult off. Leonidas falls. KNGI
Radiant structures are fortified.
will press forward with 1 minute left on this Aegis. They find a major pickoff. And all of a sudden, Still a little bit behind in net worth, but looking more and more like KNGI have the potential to close out this series in these games.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Pick up the low tower. They're going to turn onward. Still 20 seconds without a Troll Warlord to fight back with. They're going to use the Metamorphosis to try to push into this tower. Kingpins will burn out some of it with the fortification. Break pushing them forward. Early now going to go in, not going to commit fully. Troll Warlord about to respond. Now we're going with the Flame Break. Try to find a pick onto Rosen, silence up, and will take out. Aegis expires, so that will be KNGI's cue to leave. Now the smoke up. Kingpins want to find more off of this. With one hero already dead, it's an opportunity for them to try to get back some of this lead that they had. Nada continuing to climb. Has moved from in-step with the Meepo to in-step with the Troll Warlord.
Somewhere, someone lays blame.
That courier kill is going to hurt a little bit. Seems like that. Now, we're going to look for a setup under this tier 2 tower. Switching the range mode is going to get roared up. Trying to find someone on Cody Beef. Now they're going to turn around with the hook shot. Global Silence comes out. Cody Beef will be the first to fall. Leonidas is still so low, and the ult has already been used, so Life finds the kill. Moves up to dominating. Killing spree for Nada as well. Curly going to try to BKB teleport out. Meanwhile, Nappy in on the back lines. Switches into Mega Meepo. With Curly gone, Nappy's now in trouble. And is going to fall. Does find the kill on Rosen on their way out. But once again, KNGI finding the better of that fight. Parablade is now fully moved into the driver's seat, and this is looking very similar to Game 1. Early lead from Kingpins, not enough to slow down the farm of Nada. KNGI battling back, trying to make this a 2-0.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A sudden burn.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Reason has the Blink Dagger and Force Staff looking towards the Aghanim Scepter, or perhaps first the Aether Lens.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Trying to get as much disable
That should
and
help.
reposition from this Flaming Lasso as they can.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
KNGI will take the bottom tier 2. Once again, they just do not lose this bottom tier 1. Aghanim Scepter finished on the Primal Beast, so this is a pretty different Primal Beast build than we saw from the opposite side last game. But the break from Uproar
Dire are scanning for enemies.
is going to give them some more tools
Blaze here.
in these fights, as well as just putting out more AoE damage. Leonidas and Nada find each other. And Nada is going to pop the Metamorphosis, fight in towards Leonidas. The Scotty shots are bringing them down low, but the Flame Break going to finish getting this. The hook shot from Kobe Beef. A beautiful rocket flare is going to give Leonidas the chance to get off the BKB and ult. Firefly damage from Nada is massive, and they bring down Reason.
I guess.
They find the kill on Curly as well, and the damage is just absolutely devastating from Nada. Nappy falls. KNGI, they continue their dominating fights. This damage from the Terrorblade, the Metamorphosis, the connection from Kobe Beef on that hook shot, getting things started. Pro Warlord escapes, but their friends cannot save. And now a Tormentor is going to be found. There's still the enemy Tormentor. And that is a shard for Rubik. Very nice save. Especially into some of these spells like the Flaming Lasso, other repositions. Just get your teammate right on out of danger. has
Radiant's top tower is under
Chrysalis
attack.
and is just about ready to get a butterfly once again. We'll see. Alright, we do have the MKB queued up by Phil Warlord, probably scouted out the components of that butterfly, so it's going to be a faster response than the butterfly last game that Nada picked up.
Radiant's top
Make
tower
sure
is
they have
under
tools.
attack.
And they have a good chunk more magic damage. Much more damage for Riot. Another great damage on the hook shot. Ends up living, sadly. He's trying to escape, and the Flaming Lasso is out. Now they get the Primal Roar onto Primal Beast, trying to bring down this hero. He gets picked up from across the site for Verdict. Life is now getting brought low, though, and Leonidas is turning and bringing out the damage on this Beastmaster. Gets lifted up and will finally finish it off. They find the kill on Life as well. And Nada still has the Sunder. Global Silence comes out to try to prevent it. Nappy has to escape with that Meepo, repositioning them. Gets the dig away, but finally the Sunder is up on Leonidas. The damage is just overwhelming. They bring down the Terrorblade. They're going to find Roseanne as well. Massive bounce back from Kingpins. Triple kill for Nappy. Exactly the fight that Kingpins needed here. 5,000 gold coming back their way. Every
Dire's
single
bottom
spell
tower
in
is
the
under
game
attack.
used, pretty much. 12 moves,
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
28 switches of Troll Warlords.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Leonidas has the secret behind him, is going to eat a fortification. And the pings come out. It's time to start thinking about Roshan again. Sadly, finding a full pool of lotuses over here.
Boom! There it goes.
Scouting again, KNGI. They're going to know it the moment Leonidas steps into that pit. The rocket flare is there. And they're going to start positioning around this. They've got that outpost. They're going to smoke up. They're going to look to turn this around. KNGI, the smoke breaks, but it only finds Curly, and it's going to go down. Then they get the lasso on Roseanne. Both supports down already. Buyback from the Rubik and from Kobe Beach. They do not want to give up this shot. It's getting brought low by the damage from Life, zipping through this fight with the Sleight of Fist. Kingpins will respect the buybacks and back up for now. Mega Meepo. Walking away. And we're going to have the classic standoff around this pit, it looks like. Still a few minutes where it's going to stay on the Radiant side.
Radiant
Look
are
to set up
scanning
some
for
vision over here.
enemies.
The scan is going to see Hydrak and KNGI. They're going to step into the pit now and start whacking away at it. And the scan sees that, which means Kingpins, they're going to smoke up, look for the wraparound. But is this wraparound going to be too slow? The damage from the Terrorblade is bringing Roche low already. The smoke breaks. Leonidas is in on the backline with the BKB early as well. They're going to find this space. No buybacks available. Aegis on the deck, and Nappy's the one who picks it up. Brings his body's back. Beef is in the middle of everything. Nappy goes down the first time. It's not the Primal Roar brings down Leonidas. The Meepo has respawned. The Hex is on the Terrorblade, and they follow it up with the Flaming Lasso. Put down the Terrorblade they can. Reason falling low as well, but is able to escape out, and now the focus is on the Hijack, while sadly continues to go toe-to-toe with the enemy mid. Damage comes out sadly with a double kill, and Hijack goes down as well. The Aegis steal and a full team wipe. Kingpins bouncing back in game 2, not giving up this lead. They march forward, still have the cheese. The Hex timing from Meepo is exactly what they needed to prevent the Sunder from the Terrorblade and secure the fight. With that, they'll be able to push forward. Should be able to find this tower. Still plenty of time before
Dire's
anybody keeps
bottom
spawning.
tower is under attack.
We can work perfectly in sync with each other on their respawns. And now the Tormentor will be stolen the other way. Meepo is going to be able to clean it up themselves.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Or gives the sticky napalm damage. Not sure that's the shard they necessarily wanted, though. Both of these are kind of right-clicky shards for the supports. So Tormentor's gonna be a while before they're super impactful for Kingpins.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now KNGI look to make some magic happen again. Coming in off of these respawns, see what moves they make. Try to find some space to get some farm back. They are potentially scouting out one more, but that will quickly delay. Beef has the Lotus Orb. Really the only item other than the Tranquil Boots on its clockwork. Full defense build. Be working towards the Swift Blink. It seems like it's going to be on Leonidas a lot of the time to get through the Butterfly.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I would really, honestly, I love the Scythe, but a Bloodthorn may have been even better to get that chunk of time where you have True Strike on a target.
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
As both these teams put up multi-Dota things for the fall. Both teams just kind of chilled and farming. 15,000 network lead for Kingpins at this point. Primal Beast working on the part of Tarrasque. Got the Ag Scepter finish on Batrider.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
For those double lassos in the other fights. Life working on the Ag Scepter as well. Get those bonus remnants. Really crank up their movement to 11. Ninja Gear down. Blade. Haven't talked too much about neutral items as the tier 4 neutrals start coming out. Seeing a lot of Ninja Gears in a lot of games. That personal smoke, super valuable.
Trickster's rule of illusion.
For hijack. It's going to be the one found, so another source of it is, and just so much durability. Has that halberd finish, working on the BKB next. Try to improve their staying power in these fights.
Boom! There it goes!
They're just pushing things out. Working on the Silver Edge next. Amp up that damage, give them a source of escape.
And it's off!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What else we got going on? Refresher being worked on by Silence. Looking for double global silence. Still quite a bit before we see another Aegis. We never really got an extra fight because the Aegis was spent on that initial fight.
Slayer's here!
Going to find something here. But a lot of Kingpins are back in their base, gonna start pushing out things now.
Enemies.
Scan comes out. Life is going to step into the scan. We'll have a little bit of an idea, and they're going to start moving with their own smoke out towards the side of community. Rubik is going to be the one out there breaking, and they're going to find the kill. Conquer is enough. Now they jump forward, get Flaming Lasso, try to finish off both of these supports again. That worked well for them last time to win the fight for the Aegis. That means once again KNGI have to play a little bit carefully until their supports are able to respond.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Playing. Next has the silver and going to tear apart that final tier 2 tower on the Dire side. I think both teams just kind of waiting for the next Aegis fight. Maybe going to start seeing a high ground push. Leonidas is going to step up here and start laying the damage. We'll get the Fortify out from the Dire. Meanwhile, Nada pushing things out down. Has the Hurricane Pike done as a means of escape. He's trying to escape from these illusions and boars. Gets themselves up on the high ground and will have relief to get back down. Kingpins now stacking up a little bit. This cheese has been getting passed around so much. They've got a gem now as well. And maybe we're going to get a bit of a scrap here as they find the Flaming Lasso in the vision on the Terrorblade. Life comes in, oh, he's immediately deleted, and life goes down as well. Nada falls as well. 3 dead already, and now the throw away, but it's not going to be enough to escape. Damage comes out, Reason finishes off the kill. 4 dead in an instant.
Now that's what I'm
Radiant's
talking
bottom
about.
tower is under attack.
Instantly blown up by this Troll Warlord damage. The cleave. All around, like,
Dire's
this
middle
is a
tower
huge
is
spike
under
from this
attack.
crit. On top of the MTV.
Dire's middle tower is fallen.
It's going to be a push in towards the mid lane.
Under attack.
They make quick work of a tier 3. They're going to start threatening tier 4s. They want to send this to game 3 right now. There's one more Fortify coming out. Now that tier 3 is fallen. Bo3 trying to make some space. They don't want to use buybacks, but they will have to commit the buyback on Terrorblade, and that means it's Kingpins to leave. So get that mill barracks on their way out. Get the fleet break into the primal, or stop the primal beast. Not trying to escape. The cogs kind of trapping themselves in, preventing a chase forward. The look towards Sadly now. They get the scout from the rocket flare. Silver Edge hit. Uphill, it's too much, and now they get the kill. Sadly survives, and that's a dieback on Terrorblade. Revenge goes down as well. Buyback from the Rubik, but Kobe Beef will fall. Legion, they will get that kill. But can they hold without their Terrorblade? The Mega Depot is all stacked up. This one's absurd amount of health. Light falling quickly as well.
If you were a millennial,
Going to go down off the buyback. Hijack trying to bring down these heroes. Light trying to escape the hex of there. Running after them. Damage still to come out from Leonidas to bring down the Beastmaster. And PG's called Kingpins bounce back. Made good on their early game. Some chaotic roach fights turn into victory for Kingpins. And that will send us to game 3. They stick to their original plan from game 1, get an early lead going, build the momentum. It gets a little scary in the middle. We see this big swing back towards KNGI NA, and then they're able to bounce back off of a huge Roche fight to bring things back around for Kingpins. Itemization was there, it was on point. They had this Monkey King bar exactly when they needed it to make sure the butterfly didn't do too much. The Scythe, just all of the control for this Terrorblade preventing the Sunders. Alright, we're going to have another quick break, and then we'll be back about 5 minutes for game number 3. Alright, we are back for game 3. Quick break indeed, as Kingpins bounce back to push it to a game 3. They win the coin flip, they take second pick once again, and KNGI once again take Dire side. That means we're going to be right into the draft. For game number 3.
5 seconds. It is Dire's ban.
See how these teams decide to adjust their draft plans. Are Kingpins going to stick their strategy? Will KNGI stick to their kind of late game?
10 seconds
Get
remain.
all the way out to the late game, have this huge late game carry that can bring them
5
through to the end.
seconds remain.
Or will Kingpins be able to once again push it through with a strong early
Radiant's
game
turn to ban.
and be able to close out another one to move on to the next round?
Dire's turn to ban.
We get the Undying banned out once again. Batrider banned out this time. So Kingpin's not going to be able to have their same opening from last game. It was a very effective Batrider performance from Reason.
10 seconds
So I think
remain.
that is
It is Radiant's ban.
a good respect ban to see. Spirit Breaker continued to be banned out. Taken away from Kingpins in all 3
Dire
games.
must choose.
And the Snapfire will be banned out again this time. So the Templar Assassin is back
Radiant's
on the menu
turn to pick.
for Kingpins if they want it. KNGI are going to stick to their Rubik opener. Has been solid. I mean, we even saw like a huge Flame Lasso steal
10
in that last game.
seconds.
So Rubik performance has been good. Would not be surprised to see them go
5
back to the Kobe
seconds.
Beef Clockwork as well. These games have both been very close, very back and forth. So I think both teams pretty comfortable with their strategy that they've been running so far. See what this opening duo is going to be from Kingpins. They could go back to the techies from game 1 or find a new hero for Reason to play with the Batrider banned out. Pretty consistently been the target of these opening phase bans from KNGI, and has been pretty consistently prioritized by Kingpins to pick up that hero to start things off. Once again, deep into the reserve time off the bat for Kingpins.
Radiant's turn to pick.
So just for a minute, it's going to be a Pugna.
Dire's
See where
turn
this
to pick.
ends up, and then right into a Storm Spirit. So they grab the Storm Spirit early this time. It was getting banned out late. So they go back to kind of their strategy from game 1 as far as draft goes, with picking Nappy's hero early. And they are able to get a
10
mana battery
seconds
for the
remain.
Storm Spirit in the form of Pugna. Did get a little bit of a nerf
5
after Bali Major,
seconds.
so it wasn't the most popular mana battery. We were seeing a Keeper of the Light or an IO more often being the Storm Spirit pairing, but gives you a lot of other great
Dire's
options.
turn
Tons
to
of damage on towers, and a bit of a save for physical damage. KNGI, they answer with their Primal Beast once again, stealing it back. So we get to see it in all 3
is
games,
Radiant's
never the same one in a row. KNGI now ban out the Clockwork that they've picked the last 2 games. So worried that Kingpins want to grab that Clockwork at the opening of the next phase as more setup for this Storm Spirit, which would be very scary, and Clockwork's a massive problem for Primal Beast. So I think game 1 they were fine with it because they knew they could steal the Clockwork at the start of the second phase to protect Primal. But this time they don't want the chance of Clockwork getting through because of how much the Battery Assault disrupts
10
everything Primal Beast
seconds.
tries to do. Naga Siren banned out by
5
Kingpin, so
seconds remain.
continuing to look at KNGI's strategy of pushing it to the late game, having that ultra late carry, and taking out the best options that I think they have. Very interested to see, especially with the Clockwork not in the picture, what position 5 we're going to see from Kobe Beef, and if that's going to change the dynamic of what kind of carry KNGI pair with it. Because if we see like a range support, if we see like a disruptor, that's going to open up more of a melee carry rather than the Medusa or Terrorblade that they've been playing with the Clockwork the last 2 games. Undying banned out as well. It's your other big melee position 5. So might not be able to go with exactly the same strategy that they've been using for their last 2 drafts.
Radiant's turn
They
to
ban out the Slark. I believe that was banned by KNGI last game as well. making sure that they don't have that big opportunity for lockdown and very good escape. Also, the ward control that a Slark offers you can be quite powerful.
5 seconds remain. It is Dire's ban.
Beastmaster taken out, respecting the hijack Beastmaster. Which is a little interesting because we saw Primal Beast was hijack's hero in game 1. Again, still flex potential between mid and off lane.
It is Radiant's ban.
Faceless Void taken out. Not necessarily like a huge combo with Storm Spirit compared to other mid potentials, but maybe just protecting whatever carry they want to go with. Also, like, I think a Faceless Void would fit
10 seconds
Kingpins
remain.
Style in these 2 games we've seen so far
5
really
seconds.
well, because it's not as ultra late as the carries that KNGI have been making, but because of the power of the Chronosphere, they've been like it always gives you a tool to beat those late game carries at the end. Anti-Mage banned out by Kingpins, so now we have to watch out for a Medusa pick on their side. Though maybe on KNGI's side as well, but it's harder for them to get away with because they don't have the last pick in this phase.
5
so
seconds.
if they go for the Medusa, Kingpins can find a better answer for it than they were able to find in game 1 off of that last pick in the phase. But on the other side, does that mean that KNGI have to let Kingpins have it? Do they preemptively pick against it with their next 2 picks? Is that even what the anti-mage ban is for? Maybe not. I mean, anti-mage is a pretty big problem for the Storm Spirit. Elder Titan comes. This, I believe, was one mentioned. This actually could have been a little bit of a block pick for Kobe Beef as well. Because I believe this hero...
10
it's
seconds.
been kind of up and coming, and I believe one of these teams have a bit of an Elder Titan specialist.
5 seconds remain.
And that would be a good, if they wanted to stick to their like Kobe Beef on a melee position 5, would be potentially a pretty good option for them. So it's another one out of the pool. KNGI in the think tank now, deciding what they want to have for these next 2 picks. Because they have to be careful if they're going to pick a carry here. I imagine, based on their strategy, having first pick last game,
Enchantress.
on it, they go for the Enchantress as the Kobe Beef hero. So certainly not melee, but is still able to play as a frontliner. Maybe we see this paired with something that's going to amp that range damage as well, like a Drow or a Luna.
5 seconds remain.
A potentially interesting offlane duo. A Drow pick seems pretty nice. I think the Elder Titan is scary for the Drow, but I like how Drow matches up into Storm Spirit for a good chunk of the game with the Gust. They're going to go with the Puck, so they're going to prioritize getting the mid matchup they want of the Puck into the Storm Spirit. So this is going to be some crazy mid plays throughout this game. Underlord comes out. So here we've not seen touched on either side so far. But definitely a scary offlaner. I'm excited to see the repositioning plays, the like team movements that you get to make with the Fiend's Gate.
5 seconds.
I think based on how we've seen Kingpins playing, they can definitely, coordinate and make a sick play in a team fight there. Probably will be laning with the Pugna, because I don't know that they love an Underlord Elder Titan lane, although the pairing of auras there could potentially be interesting.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Let's see, you're going to get banned out. So maybe protecting... I think just protecting the mobility of the Primal Beast and Puck. Probably not a preemptive ban for whatever carry KNGI is going to pick, but protecting what they've already drafted. And it would slot pretty well into Kingpins' lineup, I'd say. And kind of follow up on what they've been doing of, like, having an early... Templar Assassin is going to be one of the bands.
5 seconds remain.
Which feels like they're more worried about KNGI shifting
Radiant's
to a
turn
faster
to
pace
ban.
strategy. KNGI is going to ban out the Drow themselves. Because, yeah, with the front line of an Elder Titan Underlord, Drow would have a pretty strong game. And, like, Storm Spirit and Puck play very similarly, so having that Gust as an option is scary for either side.
10 seconds
And
remain.
Puck gives you the silence that you're looking for out of your mid lane option,
5
so you don't need
seconds.
to prioritize it for yourself as hard.
Dire must choose.
Morphling will be the final ban of this Game 3 draft. We'll see what these teams want to close out.
10
Both sides should be
seconds.
looking for a carry unless something very strange has happened.
5
I mean, we could see,
seconds
like,
remain.
the super spicy Elder Titan carry. I don't think
Radiant
that
must
is...
choose.
Juggernaut.
It's going to be a Juggernaut, so it will be the ranged position 5 opening up a melee carry. I like this. This is a little faster paced than KNGI have been looking to play, but still gives you that late game option.
10 seconds remain.
Curious now if we're going to see kind of a flipping of the strategies. Kingpin's going for
5
something that goes later than a
seconds.
Juggernaut,
or if they're going to try to meet them earlier.
Who
It will be the
enforce
latter.
your
The
will
AM
upon
ban
the
does
battlefield
help
today?
protect the Medusa, and your mana battery for your Storm Spirit is now also your mana battery for the Medusa. So that looks pretty scary for Kingpins. Very interested to see how this goes as we have the flipping of the timings that these teams have been looking for, and if what Kingpins have is enough to still make a big early game push, or if they're just going to be trying to make space and just stave off KNGI and put the onus on them to make the big early game push and, you know, beat the Medusa in timing rather than having to beat her late game. Juggernaut is happy building a Diffusal, much more so than here saw in the last Medusa matchup. And I'm very interested to see, you know, now the opposite carry getting to play Medusa. I like that we've had these heroes swapped between us from game to game a few times now, because it's just very interesting seeing, you know, how the opposite side plays it. We saw a completely different Primal Beast build from game 1 to game 2. We'll see if Hijack, you know, still probably less prioritizing the physical damage reduction that all of KNGI prioritized in game 1. These Kingpins have mixed up their damage much more this game. Alright, so we are going to get into this game 3 between Kingpins and KNGI. Trying to move on in this week's TDL America's Pro Series 4 of our 2023 summer season. And we start, once again, with a pause. Mic problems, so it should be pretty quick. I'm gonna throw on a timer this time. This team did already use quite a bit of
That's the spirit! You blew it! Told you a storm was coming!
See if they get any interesting positioning. Starting off by just running it up the mid lane. Really threatening to cast the Firestorm. And it is going to be KNGI now wrapping up through here, but the ping comes out. So they maybe have a sense that this is happening. Smokes are going to wear off. They're going to potentially wrap behind. But Kingpins definitely smell this coming and stay far away. So it looks like it's just going to be a full map swap here. KNGI
30 seconds to
the
battle.
position on the Radiant high ground. Curly actually casts the Firestorm. Fails to cancel the Pump Fake. That's pretty fun. Looks like Leonidas is gonna start walking over here and will get seen by the Watcher.
The international
They'll capture, but it doesn't look
lives in us
like
all.
KNGI will make a play on that, and the bounty runes will once again be split 2 ways. They're gonna start with 3 heroes down here, so maybe want to find an early kill on the Medusa. Or there's just something I don't know, because Kingpins are doing the same thing. Though it looks like, sadly, is going to take the 28s through. Unitas is playing pretty far back. Sadly, we'll TP on through.
Denied.
And yeah, they'll be still against the bot lane. Right away, the spin, getting through the Firestorm, putting a ton of damage on the Pro. Now they're going to look at that spin unavailable. Nada's going to be the one getting brought low. Another blast for some reason. Another one hits. And that means Nada's in danger. Curly threatens the Firestorm. Ooh, just dodges another Nether Blast. Nada able to make it out. Kobe Beef healing up. It is most of the mana for Pugnet. It didn't bring a lot of mana out. Brought plenty of health regen. It's going to be short on Nether Blasts for now. Midlane Storm Spirit's already pretty low. Life as well. These mid matchups have been interesting because they were swingy between the 2 games. Each mid laner has won one of their lanes, it seems. They both play so low without, like, actually killing each other. Upside, getting a little deep. Almost able to bring down Reason, but not quite. Another spin from Nada. Pugna is going to make the walk home, being completely out of health and mana. Though does still have some regen ready to go. I don't think Curly minds having to occupy the lane solo and getting some solo experience. Bottom side, things start off a little quietly again. Water runes get split in the mid lane. Overall, no huge fights being had. Most of the fighting has once again been in this top lane.
Face it.
Sadly, getting brought down a little low, but has the stomp. Gets the sleep on both. Now they get the zap, and sadly, it's going to not get charged on. Hijack reconsiders as their health gets pretty low. Razan backing away as well. Topside, Lewis just spawned. Thinking about going for that now. It was going to spin forward, and that is going to be your first blood once again. Getting picked up by a non-hero, so kind of negates the first blood. But the gold just gets split between them. So not what Nada would have been hoping for. That final tick of damage getting done by a creep, kill getting stolen that way. Outside, Roseanne just having to eat so many of these mana snakes. Coming out from the side of Leonidas. Sadly, a little low on mana. Outside, Nada playing right under the enemy tower. Not really going to get punished for that. Mid Nappy getting a little low, but is way ahead on last hits. Holy cow. 26 and 8 to 10 and 1. Nappy is crushing this mid lane.
To me!
Full half level ahead right now. See if that turns into an early mid kill. Seems like for now still pretty happy. Kind of continuing to build that lead. throwing spells back and forth, trying to claim these jungle creeps and the lane creeps that have been pulled over to them. Power shreds will be the thing for Naga. Sadly, going to pick up some raindrops to deal with Fade Bolts from Rubik. So I'm getting a little low. This Echo Stomp could be a problem now. Won't hit it. Don't quite have the mana for it. Jack now maybe in some trouble is going to be able to onslaught away.
Structures are fortified.
Fortify comes out, I guess, to protect the box tower. Looks like that was the most put in towards the Dire side. Carry's very even on last hit and offlaners as well. The difference is fully in the mid lane right now. This has been developed by Kingpins. Now Nappy hits level 6 and immediately runs into that. Try to get a kill on light, not quite able to escape as that last attack from Shadow throws in. Has plenty of wand charges and is threatening Nappy, but Nappy is going to be able to escape. All 4 supports rotating in towards this lane for that Storm's level 6 timing, right behind the 6-minute rune, which Kobe Beef manages to deny.
Gotcha!
Which is pretty huge. A regen rune on the Storm Spirit at this point, like, Nappy would immediately be back up, able to make another play, possibly even use a life again before they can get level 6 on their puck.
Radiant's courier makes the ultimate sacrifice.
Spin coming out now on early, but is gonna kind of deal with it. Not mind. Is Nappy now making a rotation up here on the Storm Spirit? Nada is going to head towards these creeps and is going to walk right into Nappy. 5 seconds until the next spin. Would be a big kill if they can find it. It is available. Nada is going to be able to get that debuff immunity and potentially walk away. And the big heals coming out from Nature's Attendants and the Healing Ward will bring Nada back up to full. The gank will be for naught. Meanwhile, Life may be making a rotation of their own down here towards the bot side. But looks like we'll just be happy to farm some camps. The hard kill to bring Leonidas down. Upside now, Life going to rotate up. Maybe try to find something that really gets the green coil, and with the spin and the silence, that will be a dead Underlord. Back, popping the uproar charges. Try to stave off some of the damage coming in from Leonidas.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. The Dire scan, on the hunt for Radiant forces.
We'll once again quiet down a little bit. Reason thrown out the damage from the Nether Blast towards the mid tower. The supports from KNGI look to stave off the push. Overall, far less fighting than we had in the first 2 games. And we're gonna get another pause from Sadly. Hopefully not more internet issues. KNGI not quite ready for the unpause. Should be back soon. Yeah, Hijack's got the Vanguard finish.
I do not
Nothing in the queue yet.
I do not thank.
Manta Style will be the first item for the Medusa. Get for Kobe Beef. Wand on the Courier with some raindrops as well. Life looks like they'll have their power treads. Raindrops on the Courier for Rubik. And we're ready to go. Get back into
true
things.
Heroes are the ones who wait all the way.
Early finished up the Vanguard as well. Switch over to Networth. Being stunned up by the Centaur. Otherwise. Life and Nappy maybe gonna square off over here. Around the bounty room. Green Coil comes out. Going to give Life a chance to escape. Nappy will just kind of walk that one off. Now they're going to turn towards Reason over here in the mid lane. Nappy's still got decent resources. It was Puck that got the bounty room. Outside Curly bringing the creeps right in under tower. Now we're gonna curse some attacks back their way. Response. Working on that Battle Fury. But definitely thinking about trying to outpace this Naga with their farming. So far pretty even. Safe lane, yeah, still. Safe lane's even, off lane's even.
Is under attack.
Bigger difference in the game. But overall, I think both teams are not too upset with where this game's at. I think because the side lanes went pretty even, it's harder for Nappy to try to find rotations with the Storm Spirit. And so it's just going to kind of farm up, look to get the Kaya. That'll really open up the game for them.
Dire structures are
reducing those mana costs. Playing around under the tower, Reason's going to come and try to stay this off. They're going to stomp from Sadly, it's just going to miss. Now Life's in as well. It's potentially shaking up to be a bit more of a team fight as KNGI brings 4 heroes down to the bot lane. Life gonna say no more notices. Finds the Dream Coil on to Pugnup. It's immediately gonna get stomped. Now could be in trouble as they get the root from Curly, but it's going to step away. Earth Splitter comes out, but
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like everyone's just gonna kinda say, alright, we're good. Let's not fight anymore. Working on the Witchblade. Primal, finishing up the phase boots and then going directly into the Blink Dagger.
There is
They're going to look to set up something on Nappy. They get the leash already low and just immediately is going to get deleted. Huge pickup for Life. To even out things between these mid lane heroes after how the lane went. Nada, looks like the Battle Fury is on its way. You're ready to really crank up the farm on the Juggernaut. Both sides farming pretty freely overall. It looks like now they're going to try to contest this push in the bot. Nappy immediately going to find the on the Rubik. communicate coming in from early as well. So
this is Gabe
both
Newell.
supports
Thanks for
quickly
playing Dota 2.
cleaned up.
Double kill.
This is the kind of rotations looking to see after the start lineup we have in this
Tower
game.
is in danger.
Life considering coming on over, but it looks like Hijack will be able to step away safely.
Dire should look to their top tower.
Quickly as I go.
Dire's top
And
tower
they're both
is
sides
under
able to
attack.
keep farming. Underlord doing Underlord things, just kind of occupying this lane,
Dire
slow
should
sieging
look
the
to their
tower,
top tower.
letting the creeps push in. So they farm, Colby beat, coming in with the
Dire's top tower is
all
under attack.
refill.
Don't mind me.
Dire's top tower is no more.
Curly finally finds that tower top. We'll like continue to just chill out in this lane. Meanwhile, Hijack, with the help of Roseanne, looking to do the same on the bottom side.
Its bottom tower is under attack. Dire should look to their top tower.
And they will bring it down, so safe lane towers will be traded. We'll see if now that's going to open up things for the offlaners to start moving
Dire's
around
top
more,
tower is under attack.
or if we're going to keep on going with a bit of a farm effect that we've had in 15 minutes in this game.
Dire should look to their top
About
tower.
halfway to the Blink Dagger for Hijack, so that should also get things picking up the pace. Havis being worked on by Reason, mitigate some of the damage coming out from the Juggernaut.
There
Full damage
is
in the
little
tank
hope
for
for
Nappy.
Dire's
So
middle
not to get
tower.
much off of that. We'll see if KNGI wants to try to defend this tower. They are going to fortify this before it falls. Hijack teleports in, and looks like they'll try to secure the deny on the tower. You get the hit stolen. Which is, I mean, like, all of Underlord's spells are scary to give to a Rubik, because the damage is just massive from Rubik's Firestorm, and the cast range on the is terrifying too. Because now I look away just before sadly makes the choice to walk up those stairs. And finds 3 heroes from the opposite side waiting for them. Now this is going to turn into a push on the mid tower for KNGI. So it looks like the Firestorm will prevent that push from going very far. They are choosing to keep this tower alive, maybe to pair with a Fortify. They don't currently have it available. We're trying to get the tower to survive until the
Dire's
next
top
Fortify.
tower is under attack.
We'll wait to deny it until they need another one. Nappy ends up going for the Witchblade before the Kaya. Sadly, again, in the same spot, steps up, and there's still heroes from KNGI. Must be thinking, why are these guys still here, just occupying our jungle? Like, I need more heroes to come over here so we can take this area back, or we need to just play somewhere else. It's one of those games, like, as a support player myself, it's one of those games where just all of the cores are farming, and so you're like, well, what do I do? Like, I'm just trying to get some wards up, maybe get some stacks. Like, we're not going for fights, so I guess that's it. They're gonna scan out Nappy here on the smoke. Nappy's gonna catch wind of it, is gonna run in to kill the Leaf, but nothing to hold in place. Does get the slow at least, and is running a little low on mana, out of bottle charges. Start throwing some damage back their way. Looks like it won't amount to much. Life is going to back away. Now sadly he's going to walk over here. Finally a fight. Reason teleports down over here as well. KNGI, they've already evacuated. They're backing up. Finding life. So Nada's going to stick around here. That's going to be a zip in from Nappy. Does have the Blade Fury available. Damage comes out from Reason as well. Nada considering if they have the option to, like, turn with the melt there and get the Omni Slash in. Instead, they're just going to bounce off each other again.
Top tower is under attack.
And now they're going to take the portal top and start pushing in this tower.
That should
Support's
help.
joining Curly up in this top lane, where Curly has just lived for the entire game, aside from a Fiend's Gate or two. That's going to give space for KNGI to push in towards this mid-tower Kingpins. They're getting some good damage up here, and they find Curly in the back line with the Pulverize just immediately brought down, but 3 heroes in the Echo Stomp, and a massive Earth Splitter is going to bring Nada low, but not quite dead. They do find the puck, and now the zip in from Nappy. Juggernaut falls. KNGI punish the mid lane push with a nice rotation in. Stone Gaze getting used in there as well to help secure. Now another zip forward from Nappy, who's just about out of mana, but it's going to be just enough to give Leonidas a kill on the Rubik, and then Reason is right there for the mana restoration. Which did get nerfed, so you can see that it's only so much mana that you give up when you just
treasures.
Pour half of your health pool into your mid laner. But easy enough to find and restore that on. Get that right back. Manta Style's good to go, and the Scotty has arrived for Leonidas. Off of that little fight. Kingpins now finding themselves in a bit of an early lead again. Still very close overall.
Top tower is under attack. Radiant should look to their middle
KNGI looking towards that mid tower again, but they hear the
structures against attack.
that way.
Dire should look to their top
Sadly going
tower.
to scout things out with the Spirit. So they will not push on for anything more. Has the Blink Dagger ready to go, working on a Halberd to mitigate that Medusa's damage with the disarm. OBB working on the Force Staff. Up for the Elder Titan. As now he can zip in from Nappy on
Killing
Thursday.
spree.
Finds the Rubik sitting under tower. With the dispatches. As the Storm Spirit is carrying 3 little swords. Let's start working on a BKB now. The Whipblade, Falcon Blade, Giant combo. For as much mana as possible, zip forward on the
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Able
Radiant's bottom tower
to
is
pick it
under
off,
attack.
go back up with Spirits. So just continuing kind of the slow pressure building from Kingpins.
I'll take
So the farm stays very even between these carries. Oh, now they're going to get a rotation down towards the bot lane with the Fiend's Gate. Get the Omni Slash off onto Curly. Not going to quite bring them down. Now spinning through.
Killing
Nada
spree.
has arrived as well, and the
Bonus.
first to fall will be the Rubik. The Kingpins only end up getting a support off of the big Fiend's Gate rotation. But now they're all here in the bottom lane. Does give Nada the space to go top and find some farm there. Hijack's still hanging out in this area. Has to be a little bit careful. Looks like it's just going to be a push in on this guy.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But they notice Hijack charging away, and they're going to give
Dire's
chase
bottom tower
with the
has
Astral
fallen.
Spirit. See if they can set up an Echo Stomp. Kind of just a distraction, but the tower goes down anyway. Get the blink away. Just pulverize some creeps, not even care, maybe just understands that they are in a tough position and will fall eventually. shot on that. Aya for life. Has the blink dagger as well, so plenty mobile, trying to mash them ability of as Kingpins. They're gonna use that kill of the final piece back to all the area, so looking for growth. It doesn't seem like KNGI. Okay, now they go for the scan, so they are gonna know about it, but they're not as deep as if to test it, and they're going to give this one. So an Aegis is here for Leonidas. Working on that Silver Edge.
Are fortified.
Double
It's going to be a
damage.
push in towards the Dire Tier 2.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Top tower is no more.
And it looks like KNGI just going to try to fully trade here. They don't want to contest this push, so they're going to shove in the top lane, but they're a full tower behind, and Kingpins, they're willing to start stepping on high ground with this Aegis. Fortify comes out, so it will be a trade of towers.
Top tower has fallen.
And now we're going to get the teleports back in, but this tower is already at half health. This is going to be a very early tier 3 tower, and they're not bringing the heroes here for KNGI. They're going to step up towards these barracks as well. More teleports coming in now. And backdoor will be broken again as a new wave of comes in. Those barracks are already low, and now the zip in from Nappy immediately onto Roseanne. Trying to bring down this Rubik is going to be able to Glimmer Cape to survive. Another Fortify comes out, it's tower falling. This is going to be the bottom barracks brought down for 25 minutes by Kingpins. So they go for the late game strategy with the Medusa, but they're pretty happy pushing in this early game as well. It's an incredibly different style of play coming out in this game 3. The more even start across the board, both teams playing a little safer, playing a little quieter, and so far it's been beneficial. Life gonna jump in, finds Curly as well, gets the Dream Coil on, PK Lee is ready for Storm Hunter, and Life is going to get punished. Hijack gets the pulverize, but just has to escape because the damage is there. The Earth Splitter comes out. Hijack, can they find this kill? Nappy stepping forward again, and the damage comes from Leonidas as well, and they're going to bring down the Primal Beast. The mid and off laner fall. Kingpins look to move forward in this game 3 and on to round number 2 of TDL America's Pro Series 24.
Middle tower has fallen.
And it's high ground time even more. They've still got this Aegis with 2 heroes down. You know, only 10-15 seconds to go until they respawn, but that's enough time to get quite a bit of damage on this tower. H3's here as well. Not making their way back, but it's not going to be before the tower falls. Puck is going to be respawning. Primal as well. The Kingpins, they're not backing out yet. They're going to keep shoving things in. Hijack showing up, not coming in on the back line. Over immediately is going to get brought in by the coil.
That was unreal.
And Life is already dead right off of the respawn and still does not have a buyback build. And the reason gets the Glimmer Cape away, but that means that the Omni Slash turns onto Curly, so Nada finds that kill at least. Now we have to spin away as the Mystic Snake comes out. Skip it down for Nappy out towards Roseanne. The second set of barracks has been found by Kingpins. This is the smallest lead, well now it's a big lead, but this was the smallest lead that they've had in all 3 games. And they've led at the beginning of all 3 games. But this is the fastest that they've played despite it being the smallest lead. KNGI now going to have to be careful. Another fight could be the fight that gives up Mega Creeps, puts them in an even more dire situation. Now, they're going to smoke up over on the dire side. It's going to break on Nappy. There's plenty of mana, but they're going to get Flaming Pulverize in. Omni Slash as well. Secures the kill. Actually, I think that's just a Swift Slash, as the Aghanim Scepter has been completed on Nada, who also has a Butterfly. This Juggernaut has been farming for sure, and that's a very important kill to pick up. Tormentor's going to get found, which is going to kind of reveal to KNGI where Kingpins are playing right now. And now suddenly it's KNGI that are on the hunt. How do you bring down this Medusa twice? Scotty, MKB is there. I think they've figured out that Nada likes going this butterfly or the Sod gets killed. The Aegis is about to expire.
Had such plans.
Nada's illusions actually are going to find this bottom or this top tier 3 tower.
Barracks are under attack.
I'm surprised that actually gets given up by Kingpins, but probably not a huge deal at this stage. Sadly, is working on the Solar Crest. Kingpins continue to keep up the pressure and keep up the map control. Keep everything on the dire side of the river. Leaf has the Glimmer Cape 4 staff ready to go. Life with the full Kaya Sanj. Gets that puck be that much more durable in these fights. Make sure they don't get stuck in Pit of Malice too long. It looks like Kingpins, they're looking at this high ground. They're going to start to push in with some illusions. They do, oh my goodness, the immediate jump in on Reason, they're going to be the first to fall. The pulverized switch slash. Here comes Nappy zipping in on top of the Rip Splitter. Buyback from Rubik, but Kobe Beef's going to go down as well, and maybe not have a buyback. The damage is coming out on the hijack. Kingpin is looking to close out this game 3 already. Early is getting brought down, and Nada will find the damage to kill the Underlord. Roseanne is going to fall again. Double kill for Nada as they find the Medusa? Excuse me? And Life kills off Nappy. What just happened? What? It looked like Kingpins were closing the game, and then suddenly KNGI they find 2 massive kills.
I had such plans.
Nada just mans up on the Medusa. And Life finds the kill on the Storm Spirit. That silence at the end from the winning rift finishes off Nappy. And all of a sudden the lead is cut down to 4k. Nada is back on top of the net worth lead. And KNGI, have they once again battled back from the early lead of Kingpins? Nada has the nullifier done off of that fight. He's going to be able to dispel some of these effects on the Radiant side. I think the biggest thing is the Decrepify. Like, that just makes the nullifier necessary to make sure that Decrepify isn't an option for the save. I'm gonna get a smoke up from Kingpins. Roshan is available, but it's on the other side, so they are gonna come through
Radiant's
gate,
bottom tower is
and
under
Scan and the wards are going to see this, but immediately Leonidas is in with the damage. Glimmer Cape in the full staff, able to save him. Hijack jumps in, but there's more heroes than I think Hijack was ready for, and the Primal Beast is brought down.
middle tower is under attack.
KNGI now, it's kind of an awkward positioning for this Roche standoff. So they're in behind. Damage is going to come out. Switch slash to get away, but now the zip forward out towards Roseanne. This poor Rubik getting found by Storm Spirit every time. Zip again as soon as the Glimmer Cape wears off and Roseanne goes down. The other side, they find the other support. Bo3 is picked off. And the remaining heroes for KNGI are forced to retreat, which is going to open their door for the second Roshan to be picked off. Juggernaut was able to bring down the Medusa once. Can they do it again? Can they do it 2 more times? This is going to Actually, it looks like they're going to it is going to go Medusa and Nappy will just do it. Stormsphere does love carrying Aegis, but I think they know that they have to worry about Medusa's life too. That's the hero that's really going to carry them through closing out this game and moving on to the next round. So once again, going to be defense mode for KNGI. Smokes are coming out on both sides. Nothing's going to break yet. Nada looking for something. Nada's going to break on Sadly and they jump in. We find 2% here. The Switch Slash and the Omni Slash come out. Reason trying to keep Sadly alive. And now Curly falls as well to damage. Hijack's going to be picked off. Pretty back and forth. Nada does get the silence up from Life. Trying to bring down Nappy. The Spin comes out. Leonidas is pretty low on mana. The heal from Reason coming out. Buyback from each position 5. They look forward to trying to find Life on the backline here. Nappy zipping the chase. Both of these heroes so mobile, and it looks like they will let Life escape with their life. Now, they will be respawning in a few seconds. Slash and Nappy is just destroyed. Damage from this Juggernaut, it surprises me every time. This game is so much closer than it looks when you look at the map. You're trying to find the damage in on Leonidas, but the damage is coming right back at them. Looks like instead they will find the Switch Slash to bring them down. Instant coming out now from Curly as they get the first spear off the side. Now they're just going to spin TP. They don't have a way to escape. It means that it's no good to push forward. They find Bo3 off of the buyback. Then for more Life, going to try to escape. Pops on over to the Illusory Orb and will be able to jaunt away. But the resources, they're dwindling, and they still have an Aegis on the Trauma Siren. And now, Nada has to slash forward to survive. He spins through the crease to try to get out, but now spin ends, Nappy zips in. Rubik gets the done, but Nappy has the KP, and Nada is getting so low, does not have buyback on the Juggernaut. So this is a minute and a half without their biggest source of damage. The Barracks have gone down, Leonidas is on the killing spree. Buyback from Hijack, can they keep the Megas from being found? The Aegis is still here, no mana on Leonidas, but the Medusa does not care. He's going to continue forward, and Kingpins will secure Mega Creeps at 36 minutes. And still 70 seconds without the Juggernaut available. Means an opportunity for Kingpins to look to close out this game now. Nappy has gotten back in it. He's really throwing out damage. One of the towers will fall. Echo Stomp out to delay the defense even more. Another tier 4 will go down. Hijack jumps in with the pulverize to get the silence out from the puck. Illusory Orb trying to bring down Reason. Leonidas is falling so low, still has the Aegis for another minute. Hijack now getting brought low, is off a buyback, and that's going to be 70 seconds without a Primal Beast. Ancient is exposed. Dream on the 3. Reason finally goes down. Life is dominating, but the Aegis is falling as everybody on the side of Kingpins is so low resources, but they don't need much more to bring down this Ancient. 15 seconds. Juggernaut will not get a chance to respawn. The Ancient will be brought down. Kingpins 8, game number 3 and move on to the next round in our Pro Series 24 or 2023 summer season. What a game, what a vastly different game from the first two. Really impressive showing from Kingpins, just bringing out a completely different strategy. I mean, that game was even for so long, but you can see the point where the win probability, the AI prediction is like, yeah, I know that the net worths are similar, but this is looking Kingpins favored. And there's a little fight back from KNGI, and then Kingpins are able to bounce back from that fight, close things out. Really impressive. So Kingpins are going to move on to face off with Holly. And so we'll have a bit of a break, and then we'll get right into that next series of Kingpins versus Kali. Alright, I'm going to go get some more water. And we will chill for a bit. And when we are back, we'll have the draft for Game 1 of our next series.